Hey, folks, welcome to Onion Nuggets, where TJ does not curse, a show about puppies, rainbows,
Kitty
love,
cats.
yes, love and kitty cats and sweetie pies.
What about lollipops?
Cute little gerbils and baby bunnies.
Aw, come here, little bun
and
bun.
Petunias. And cute little jumping spiders.
So, let me tell you something, Paul. One of the things you did back in the DP days, and I never remember you doing it for any other character. Is you had a character that you hyped up before you actually, put him out there, and it was
Eric the Fed.
Eric the Fed,
Eric the Fed, yeah.
People didn't like that character. I don't know what the problem was. I don't know. It was just
the debut of Eric the Fed did not go over well.
Right.
I think it was something to do with the
fact. I never remember
fact
you hyping up any other character like beforehand either.
I don't know. Paul generally, he has a knack for creating these characters on the fly, but it seems like when he planned it, it just didn't. It just I don't know why. That just was.
But I want to not learn from Paul's lesson. I want to promote a character that I'm not doing yet, but I will be doing someday. Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm listening.
Okay. First, there was Craig Y. Then there was John X. But now, prepare yourselves for the coming wrath of Zeke Z.
Lame.
I take issue number one with the announcement already, because you said first there was Craig Y. No, first there was John X. All right.
I think there might be some confusion.
First there was John X, then there was Craig Y.
I mean, I think that's debatable.
And now there's gonna be Zeke Z.
It's not Zeke Z. I mean, it's Zeke Z, I guess, if you're across the pond.
No, it isn't. No, you guys calling it's not Z, it's Z, and
Zed.
that's. I'm not giving over the last letter of the alphabet. These motherfuckers don't even deserve the final letter of the alphabet.
Truth. But yeah, that's gonna be happening one day. I don't know when, but just stay tuned.
Z, huh? Well,
yeah, stay tuned for that.
I'm super stoked.
Me too.
I'm super stoked to see the debut of Zeke Z.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking something.
I'm not at all. It's gonna be horrible.
Why not? You don't think Zeke Z is gonna be awesome, dude?
Not even remotely.
Why not?
I mean, is there a chance? I mean, look, I'll be generous. I think there is a chance it could be funny, but am I optimistic it's going to be funny? No. This is Pastor Misproductions.
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not necessarily a comedy character, guy. It's just more of a dramatic character.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be a dramatic character. Your greatest dramatic role yet, TJ?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, maybe you'll impress us. You missed Lance Sloan. Lance Sloan, that was a great character. But TJ, I guess, doesn't really acknowledge Lance Sloan anymore for some reason. So I'm not sure why. So why don't you acknowledge Lance Sloan anymore?
I don't even know who that is. I never even heard the name.
Okay. All right.
Zeke from Are You Afraid of the Dark? No. Zeke Z. Nega TJ. That sounds almost racist. Yesterday, we lost our cat of 20 years. She was a prickly bitch, but full of love. Can she get a send-off from you boys? Her name was Twyla? Yeah, okay.
Damn.
R.I.P. Twyla, the fucking prickly bitch cat.
Another one bites the dust. Just kidding. That was mean. Wow.
Yeah, that was really mean.
Dude.
I can't expect any fucking sympathy.
That's fucked up, Paul. You fucking look. You want to shit on people? I'm all for it. I'm there all day long. You want to shit on a little kitty cat, Paul? We
had a bunch of quarters chilling on the fucking counter, and Corn Pop started just like throwing them off the counter. And Chelsea looked at him and was like, "Knock it off." And I was like, "Poor choice of words." And Corn Pop just fucking knocked it off.
Oh, it is.
It's like the Joker.
Very poor choice of words.
Yeah. he looks at her like, okay.
Your wish is my command. All right. I don't know about Corn Pop, but Corn Pop dies. I mean, he's an evil ass cat, dude. There's no denying it, dude. I know you love him. I mean, I've seen the way you longingly look
He's
into
a
his
bullet.
eyes.
He's on a bullet train straight to hell for sure.
I mean,
No
yeah,
doubt.
100%. He's an evil ass fucking cat, dude.
No, that cat, the devil don't want him, you know?
Dude, the devil's gonna be sad if fucking Corn Pop gets sent to hell. He's probably hoping he does some
that was
good
one of
shit
the-
to get sent to heaven.
That was one of the worst fucking songs I've ever fucking seen in a Disney movie, I gotta say, or heard in a Disney movie. That Shiny song.
Shiny. Yeah, that song's weird.
I've never seen Moana, so thank goodness.
Yeah, it's really not worth it.
My boycott of Disney is pretty total unless you count some of the fucking superhero movies that I've seen.
A wise policy.
Honestly, they haven't put out fucking anything worth a fuck in a long, long time.
What was the last thing they released, cartoon-wise, that you think was worth
cartoon-wise?
Yeah,
like Disney Studios.
That's what they're known for, right? So
right.
Like,
are we counting Pixar releases or are we talking about Disney releases?
I mean, Disney is Pixar, right?
But they haven't always been.
They haven't always been.
But,
so let me look.
You can count the ones they made under the banner of Disney.
I can tell you the first one I think the public would argue would probably be Frozen. I'm not of that opinion.
All right, I'm going to go backwards. So going backwards.
The last one was Wish, I think.
Wish I did not see because it looked like shit and, whatever.
Garbage.
I didn't see Elemental or Strange World or Lightyear and Kanto or Raya and the Last Dragon. I have not really been watching
Kanto.
No, I haven't seen it.
Wait a minute. You said you cried in Kanto.
No, you're thinking of Coco.
Remember me? Yeah, I think you're talking about Coco.
A lot
of people I know like Encanto actually.
So the last one of their animated movies that I saw was Incredibles 2, which was like
I actually saw that one too,
and that fucking sucked ass. That was horrible.
I don't remember it being like totally.
It was dog shit compared to the first one, at least.
Yeah, Encanto wasn't bad.
The last one I liked was Coco, which was the year before. That was 2017. It's been a hot minute since I've liked a Disney animated movie, but it's been a hot minute since I've actually watched one too.
And that's only counting their Pixar shit. Like, when is the last time they did a fucking actual animation film?
Like a fucking
like hand-drawn cell animation.
Oh my god!
Wouldn't that be Princess and the Frog? Wasn't that the last time they did that?
I believe that's a good movie.
That's a shame, dude. That movie's all right, but it's been that fucking long.
It's been 2009 since they did that.
Wow,
that's crazy.
That's really sad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not interested in anything Disney's got to fucking proffer anymore. I think that they've successfully shit up Star Wars. They successfully shit up all the superheroes.
Yeah.
Like, what else? What else are they coming for in my childhood? Like, what's next? What's next on the Disney chopping block? What else are they gonna own soon?
Dude, I just read
are they gonna buy jerking off all day in my room with the door locked?
Let me tell you something.
They might.
One of these days, it's gonna happen. Robert Zemeckis is gonna fucking die, and then Disney is somehow gonna get a hold of that shit.
Back to the Future.
And then next thing we know.
It's gonna be Back to the Future.
And what are they even gonna do? Like are they gonna use a DeLorean again?
Dude, I already laid out.
Car.
You remember when we talked about this? I already laid out the fucking the plot for it.
And a bunch of people in the chat were like, "What is this, a right-wing show now?" It's like, can this only be made fun of by right-wingers? Can no one else fucking make fun of this stupid shit?
Yeah, you don't think that movies kind of cynically dipping into wokeism and shit isn't worth fucking criticizing? I don't know. Like,
I mean, I get the impulse to say it just because so many right-wingers have made that their shtick, just about at least when it comes to talk about entertainment. So I get the impulse to say that.
All right, let me ask you this, Paul. I'll give you a different challenge because you already did the what Disney would do with it.
Yeah.
Let's say that a fucking Back to the Future remake is for sure going to happen.
Well, doesn't Universal own the rights to Back to the Future?
Yeah, but I'm assuming whatever. I'm just saying.
I don't think Disney's acquiring Comcast. I don't see it.
Right.
I mean, they don't have to acquire the whole company. They could just acquire the property.
Right. Well, just put Back to the Future aside for a second.
I don't think they're selling that property.
Don't put Back to the Future aside. Just put Disney aside. Disney doesn't matter to this.
Okay, fine.
The question is, how do you make a good Back to the Future remake? Like, how would you do it well? Like, if that was up to you, because that's a lot harder than just making it bad, right?
Yeah, people are gonna fucking think I'm crazy or inconsistent, but I had what immediately came to my mind was an animated movie a la Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Like that style of animated movie. I think that if they did like a more modern reboot of it in that style, I think it could be actually pretty fucking cool.
I could see that. That actually is a pretty cool.
I don't think about that for a whole lot of franchises. Like, you know me, I'm not a huge animation guy, but
right.
Like in
Which is why
certain
I'm kind of surprised that it's your pitch, but
well,
I actually do like that.
Yeah, like, you know, because for me, like it would help it retain the whimsy and stuff of the original and the nostalgia of the original without like creating all these big like recasting questions and, you know, without having to rely on actors trying to do a Marty McFly but trying to make it their own or whatever. Like, just kind of go crazy with it, you know.
So
I was seeing how bad that is with the like as far as like Ghostbusters as a franchise, you know, from the 80s. They've really tried to do that treatment. Not the animated treatment.
I
but
do not
understand. Do it in general.
Can I just say I do not understand the trailer for the new Ghostbusters movie at all? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, you're talking about the one where like the
frozen city
everything's freezing or whatever.
I look at that trailer and like, it's not just that I think it looks bad. It's that I don't fucking understand what they're doing. I don't understand why the Ghostbusters are fighting ice now. Like, why? What's going on?
Because it's not the Ghostbusters anymore. It's literally Stranger Things now.
Gotcha.
I mean, they even got one of the kids right from Stranger Things to be in it.
Yeah, they did.
And they have completely ripped off the aesthetic of Stranger Things. As far as I understand it, I haven't really watched a whole lot of Stranger Things, so
I haven't seen the latest Ghostbuster movie. I saw the conclusion of it. I watched the ending. I was just kind of curious.
I've seen them both, and I would say that is pretty accurate. They're definitely copying that style. I mean, and look, I understand it. Hollywood's not very original, and they see something that's popular, so like, hey, let's go after this. Obviously, there's some differences, like with the way they portrayed some of the things, but there's a lot of callbacks to the original.
I still don't understand why they got him going up against ice. Shit,
I don't know. Obviously, I don't think that's even come out yet. So who the fuck knows?
I don't.
Well, that's like a ghost trope, isn't it? That it gets cold in the room when there's a ghost. So
yeah,
maybe that's what they're going for.
A chill goes down your
Top
spine.
Gun 3 should have ended after the sequel. I mean, when Top Gun 2 made $infinity trillion, that was pretty much guaranteed to happen. I
still haven't seen Top Gun 2. I need to get my shit together.
I've heard it's good, but I have not seen it either.
So have I.
I just haven't really been in the mood for that kind of movie.
Yeah, that kind of movie is an acquired fucking taste for sure.
It's funny. I mean, as far as an action movie, it's in the 2020s, it's a top tier action movie. For sure. But the whole plot line is completely ridiculous with modern technology. That's like they have to fly. The gist of it is, of course, is Maverick's on his like last chance. You know, what's the fucking Val Kilmer character? Iceman. He's like a fucking admiral or some shit. Or whatever it is in the Air Force. He's a fucking
I always
admiral.
forget, is Val Kilmer dead yet?
No.
Okay.
He's still alive.
No, he's still alive. But basically
he just fucked up.
He goes back to Top Gun school or whatever, and he has to train people to go on some crazy mission that is completely unnecessary, but it's cool still. You know, obviously like the jets and the 5th generation shit, you know, and of course there's a bunch of antagonism with like, you can't do it. It can't be done.
If Arnold Schwarzenegger reprised his Mr. Freeze role and turned up in that Ghostbusters movie, I would actually go see it.
Yeah, it'll never happen though.
If that actually happened, if he was there making ice puns and
I would see that immediately.
With his ice gun, I'd fucking go see it for sure.
I would see it immediately, dude.
Although I think we might be out of ice puns after the first time he played the role.
Do you like that ectoplasm? Try it on the rocks. No, we're frozen. Save us, Paul Rudd.
I'm
just here to make ironic conversation. I don't know what to do.
Why does your Paul Rudd sound like Bullwinkle?
Brandon
I don't
Fraser's
know.
pushing for the Mummy 4. I mean, the Mummy 3 was horrible.
I
Brendan
don't know,
Fraser.
what are they gonna do with him though?
I mean,
Yeah,
Brandon Fraser's not in exactly awesome shape like he was in 1999 and early 2000s.
Yeah, I don't know about that from him. I mean,
if the way to defeat the Mummy is to eat the Mummy, maybe then.
yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Brendan.
maybe if the Mummy like challenges him to a pie eating contest for control of reality or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That sounds kind of cool.
It would be
that might
different.
work. Like it's a big fat mummy.
They got a Hamanatra and they have to fucking eat as many
the
pies as
fummy?
they can.
Yeah,
the tummy, dude.
Yeah, why not? That might be interesting.
You have awakened an ancient curse. It must eat as many pies as it can. The only way to save humanity is to eat more pies than the tummy.
This talk is making me itchy for another tournament. Shut up. You'll get another tournament when we say you can have another fucking tournament, bitch.
That's mean. Why you gotta be mean?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been mean.
Well, that's one thing, you mentioned when we were talking right before we went live is like you pulled something to make me salty. And I hate to tell you, TJ, but a new leaf has been turned.
A new leaf?
Yeah. A new leaf.
Why?
I went deep inside of myself and I confronted the salt and I neutralized it.
You neutralize your own salt?
I added sweet to the salt and now I'm completely balanced. I'm not a fly off the handle fucking psycho anymore. Okay. I'm a nice guy now.
All right. Good to know.
You may have noticed I have not berated you one time yet this show because I'm going to look. TJ said, I want you guys to be nice to me. And I'm taking that to heart because you're my friend.
All right. Nice.
I'm going to be nice to you forever now. And no more salt, no more bullshit. You know what I mean? Just straight out sweet Paul is all you're going to get now.
Sweetie Paul. I got you a woke Velma, Paul.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's a dude.
Velma. Oh, that's cool. I'm fine with it.
Got you a dude. Here you go.
Let's see. This is kind of disturbing. Okay, wait. Whoa, slay queen. Holy shit. Yes. Yes. And drop it down. Oh, the death dive. Oh, she's working it. She's making it happen. This is the highest energy fucking Velma yet, dude.
For sure. So for our goals today, for 150, AI George Carlin has put out an hour-long comedy special called "I'm Glad I'm Dead."
Yeah,
which
I will listen to some of it, and
I will say that that is probably what George Carlin would call a from the grave comedy special. So I'll give it that much. I have not listened to it. I went and listened to how they did the voice. It does not really sound like George Carlin.
No, it doesn't. It does not sound good.
I don't know how the material is. I know it's
I listened to a little bit, but it did not sound. It didn't. I don't know. I didn't like.
Well, we're gonna scrub through it a little bit. It's an hour long. We're obviously not gonna watch that all for our first goal, but we'll kind of scrub through and listen to a little bit and see what we think. For $300, we have some low lights, because I'm not going to call them highlights, of course, from the DeSantis versus Haley debate. I didn't even know, by the way, that Chris Christie had dropped out, but I guess Chris Christie's out.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, I didn't even hear that, but he's gone.
Nobody else did either.
Yeah,
nobody else heard that he was in it. Honestly.
Yeah, dude, I got one of those like notifications like Chris Christie drops out of Republic. I'm like, who cares? I'm like,
yep,
this is not. I'm like, he was never gonna win to begin with. So,
but anyway, it's DeSantis and Haley are now the ones. I think Vivek could still make a debate or two, but he's
I mean, Haley's the only one that's even incredibly close to Trump in any state, and she's like within 10 points in New Hampshire. That's about as close as it comes. Yeah. So
yeah. So for $450, we've got United States of Israel sycophants who suck Zionist dick for a living because they're fucking weak little punk ass motherfuckers. We got we got Secretary of State Blinken. We got fucking John Fetterman, whose ass is fucking constantly sucking Israeli dick.
That was a mean way to put that, TJ.
Was it? What should I have said instead?
You should rename it People Who Disagree with Us on Geopolitical Matters.
Okay, my bad.
Okay, that's how you say it like an adult. Can be salty.
Man, TJ, gonna take that from Paul? Let him tell you what to do?
I mean, I'm just taking his advice. Paul found a way to neutralize his own salt. Maybe I should take a fucking page out of Paul's playbook.
There's not a grain of salt.
Paul is now saltless. He's now sodium free, Scotty. Sodium free Paul.
There's not a grain of salt left.
Oh, okay. Sure.
There's nothing but sweetness, Scotty.
I totally believe that.
For $600, we've got Scotty, I think you have the best Alex Jones voice. You want to go ahead and read that for me in your Alex Jones?
What do you want to read?
The 600
I don't look. I'm not gonna be told what to do by you, TJ.
All right, sorry.
Oh, but this actually is true. Fabian Grove, Bilderbergs, they're turning the freaking frogs gay.
For $750, we got Bill and Tucky Wucky Sucky Fucky.
Well,
Just basically Bill O'Reilly and Tucker Carlson sucking each other's dicks, giving each other nice sloppy hand jobs right under the
Bill
table.
O'Reilly and Tucker Carlson agreeing with one another politically in a way that we find to be slightly distasteful.
Yes.
Wow.
That's right.
There you go.
And for $900, we got It's the Donald Trump Show, starring Donald Trump, featuring Donald Trump.
Terrific.
Donald Trump.
Terrific.
And then I kind of just realized, I don't know why it took me so long, but it's kind of weird living in a time where everyone's obsessed with a dude named fucking Donald. Like, I don't know. The name Donald is kind of fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
I guess. I mean, I have
Even
an
he
uncle Donald. So
Donald Duck.
I grew up
Donald
around
Trump-
Donalds.
Donald Trump actually does not even like to be called Donald, by the way.
Don.
Like, if people call him Donald, he
Call me
like,
the Don, TJ.
he's like, don't call me that. So afterwards, after our show is done tonight, stay tuned for Sloppy Seconds over on our Patreon. You got to be a patron to watch that. So if you're not a patron, fuck you. So for our gauntlet this time around, we're going to be doing Roseanne versus Rob Schneider versus Andrew Tate. A very strange gauntlet indeed. But we're going to be taking a look at 3 different figures and comparing and contrasting them in different ways to decide. I don't even know what exactly we're going to decide yet, but we're going to fucking decide something about them. And that's going to be taking place on January the 30th. You can also, that's going to be for patrons only. And you can also, if you're a patron, watch all of our previous gauntlets, Bill Maher, Tournament of Terror, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Tonight on Onion, tonight on, sorry, I don't know why this got put in the wrong fucking place right here. But tonight on Sloppy Seconds, by the way, we're going to be watching, and I'm actually going to make sure we do this because this is something I do want to talk about. Because we've talked about this so many times, this Jimmy Dore spitting on Alex Jones incident.
Yeah,
They've
Spit right in my face.
They've buried the hatchet. They've made up. They've kissed and made up. It's kind of a beautiful thing. So we're going to check that out and see how those guys are doing.
Oh, you're right. It's beautiful.
How they've put their differences aside, you know?
Very, very beautiful, TJ.
Did Paul rate this Velma? Paul gave this Velma
1.
I gave it a yes queen out of 10.
Yeah, he did.
There you go.
Now you're fucking chilling,
This
TJ.
Velma's tearing it up, dude.
All right,
This
TJ,
Velma is fucking
you
tearing
forgot
it
the
up.
one thing you forgot to shill, TJ.
What I forget to show?
I'll do it for you. We now have our little store open. Pessimist.co.
By the way, is that the cover of the DVD? Because that was never intended to be the cover of the DVD. That was meant to be the
cover
fucking
of the disc?
Yeah, the cover of the disc.
That's what it is.
So where's the fucking actual cover of the DVD? You ain't putting that on here?
This looked the coolest.
Okay. I mean, I think the cover looks better than this, but whatever.
Whatever. Consume. Buy the Blu-ray. And because enough of you haven't bought this, buy these shirts too. TJ's ill-fated I Dip My Wick tees, which was all TJ's idea, if I recall.
What's wrong with those tees?
Now people ain't buying them, TJ. And I don't blame them. Because you know what?
Well, who the fuck wants to buy a t-shirt that says they were at an event that they weren't at? Other than a fucking liar. You have to be a liar to buy that shirt. You say
You're
we
the
got
one
an audience.
you're the one that wanted to do it, TJ. You're the one that wanted to do it. All merch on next meetup is on TJ. He can deal with all that bullshit. I'm dealing with this time. That'll be the last fucking time, TJ.
Well, then I'll take all the fucking merch money too.
No, you won't. You won't take a fucking penny from me, bitch.
Having a Baconator waiting to herd the results of a biopsy to see off I have cancer, have money.
Well, I hope you do not have cancer.
Well, if
that's
you
a
do, it's
roller coaster right there.
It must be fucking brain cancer because your ass can't type, huh?
I mean, he's eating a Baconator at the same fucking time, TJ.
Yeah, his fingers were probably greasy and they slipped off the key.
I mean, he's got cheese.
Put down
and
the
bacon.
fucking Baconator, wipe your fucking hands, and learn to fucking spell. Otherwise, I'm glad
the
you
point
got
is,
cancer
hopefully
then.
that guy can't get the cancer. He doesn't have the cancer. And the other point is, buy this fucking Blu-ray.
And if your
Go right
cancer
now.
is fucking, deadly or whatever, put us in your will. Give
Look.
all of our fans need to normalize giving all of their worldly assets to this fucking show when they die.
I mean, that makes sense to me. If you don't want to do that now, just give us some of your money with this. Buy the Blu-ray. You understand? Buy the fucking Blu-ray. This one's limited number. This is fucking signed and personalized and all that shit. Yeah, there might be other ones later, but this other one's gonna touch our hands.
Shut up and listen to Andrew Tate.
No, I won't do it.
You're gonna do it. I'm adding it to the stage. Go buy our fucking shit, you stupid fucks.
Pessimist.co.
Pessimist.co, go buy our shit. Pessimist.co, go buy our shit. Pessimist.co, go buy our shit.
No, we want your money, not your debt. No debt.
Anyway, Andrew Tate's gonna learn you.
We can't hear him, so
I'm not learning a
apparently
fucking
not
thing.
learning that's nothing.
Motherfucker.
Fucking
Way to go,
stupid.
TJ. Way to go.
Whatever. You have way more problems with that than I do, even.
First time, every time. For
I
me.
can't ever recall Paul doing that once, TJ. That's a fucking lie, dude.
First
Motherfucker,
time,
man.
every time.
Listen to this fucker talk, okay?
And my point is that a lot of
Don't tell me you don't hear him now, because I know you can fucking hear him now.
Let me see if I can hear you. You don't give me a fucking chance to listen.
people who are clinically depressed are
Can
suffering
you
from
start it over?
life, and if you fix the problem,
Fucking dumb fucking piece of shit.
Well, I mean, you started fucking. Okay, play it again.
You
Yeah,
have all
can you
my
get-
worldly assets. Thank you.
Thank you.
When I die, my 1,000 plus record collection is going, you guys.
All right, cool. I'll take it.
and my point is that a lot of people who are clinically depressed are suffering with something in their life, and if you fix the problem in their life, perhaps they won't feel depressed anymore.
but-
That's not a disease.
Yeah, but Andrew,
that's situational.
Andrew, you're simply wrong.
If that's what you believe, Piers,
That's
it's
what I
not.
believe.
I don't believe in things that take power away.
There
from
is not an eminent doctor in the world
Piers,
that would agree with it.
Piers,
Do you think you know more than doctors?
I can't become clinically depressed.
Why do you know?
Wow,
I don't believe in it.
impossible.
I can't be haunted by.
This is just total bullshit because,
Why?
like, he wasn't whining and crying from jail about how fucking depressed he was.
Yeah, I believe he was.
I remember him talking about how he's just barely keeping it together in jail and blah blah blah. Like, this is just such bullshit.
That was situational.
This like fragile hard ass fucking thing that people are trying to sell now. I don't get it at all. Like, I honestly
But
don't
Tate
get it.
is not unique in this, anyways. I mean, Paul, I know you probably. 'Cause I mean, I know you suffer from depression. You probably. I don't know if you've actually been told directly, but I've definitely heard people when someone said I'm depressed, they go, "Just stop being depressed." Like, why are you depressed? You're weak. People, you're just weak, and you just don't want to. Like, you just simply not be depressed by just thinking you're not.
Have you
depressed.
ever considered just trying to not do that? No.
It's like, yeah. Like, do you think anyone would be if that was all you had to do? You think anyone would be depressed? Like, I mean, I guess maybe some people would choose that, but for the most part, most people would not choose clinical.
I also like to
depression.
go up to amputees and be like, just grow a new one, fucking loser. Go to people in wheelchairs, like, just walk.
I think Pierce even says like,
Stupid.
by that logic, if you say I'm never gonna die, you won't die, and it's like, yeah, exactly, exactly the fucking same logic.
I don't believe in it. It's ridiculous.
Shut up.
It's great.
Pussy.
It's really crazy to have to say you agree with Piers Morgan, but I mean, he's obviously right.
I mean, it's pretty easy to agree with him when the subject is like, is the sky blue? And his answer is yes.
And it's like, yes, the sky most certainly is blue. And then Trade's like, it's not blue because I don't believe it's blue.
Rob Schneider. Why did Rob Schneider leave California, Scotty?
Because it fucking
Why
sucks,
did that
dude.
happen?
It fucking sucks, dude. That's why.
Well, you're our resident California expert. Why do you think Rob Schneider left California?
Because nobody wanted to work with him anymore, and so he did the salty exodus from fucking California. that everybody does when they can't find work in California anymore.
All right.
I moved to Arizona. I couldn't take this. I don't know how you guys do it. How much more can California take? It's like you got homeless people on the lawn. Do you have to have them move into your house, finger your wife? At what point do you say, I'm out of here?
Well, that's why I never got married. It's because the thought of homeless people fingering my wife would have just driven me.
Well,
up
you know,
the wall.
first of all, maybe I'm looking at this.
I notice he's not doing his Tom Waits impersonation here.
Yeah, where's the hey everybody, it's me, Rob Schneider.
Maybe he just had a cold that week. I don't know.
I mean, Rob.
Hey, I'm Rob Schneider.
No, the homeless. We're either having a huge homeless problem or a gigantic camping success story.
You know, Paul, that is true. Paul, you ignore that. You say California's best state. Why the massive levels of homelessness? Why the? I mean,
where do you think all the indigent and underserved from all these shitty sub-states come to for fucking help and to live?
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. What about
live
the
in a
budget?
place with a little
What about the
sunshine
budget
on their
deficit?
face?
I mean, there's no sunshine in Arizona. What about the budget deficit in California, Paul? What about PG&E? I mean, you've criticized it many times, lack of infrastructure. I mean,
What about them?
Well, I'm asking him, saying, so you defend everything in California, or do you admit there's numerous flaws of California? I mean, you're saying it's perfect. I mean, what are you saying? What's your position?
No, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm just saying it's the best of a flawed nation.
I don't think that's true, Paul. It's one of the worst in the nation. I mean,
Well,
500,000 people left the state, Paul. 500,000 happy people. I mean, if state's losing population.
Good. There's too many fuckers here.
Oh, I mean, there you go, Paul. Paul, I mean, Paul, are you talking about taking an RV trip across
everybody
America?
Everybody wants.
Also,
to
about
live in
fleeing
China.
the state. He's talking about fleeing the very state he loves, guys.
I could do an RV trip across California. Wouldn't even ever have to leave.
To flee it, Paul. Paul's gonna flee it. Look, I'm calling it now. Paul flees California. Paul's fleeing.
Everybody's so salty that California is the best.
We're not salty, Paul. We're just acknowledging reality. California is very flawed. I mean, look, there's tons of homeless in Arizona that it's not true. There's not a single homeless person in Arizona. They would immediately provide them a house. We know that.
Yeah, that's how it works.
I want to show you guys something about God, okay?
God is always watching. This is why it's important to always do the right thing. Always be polite, always hold the door open, always give that $10 to charity, even if nobody sees it.
Charity.
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 Even if you don't report it, even if you don't tell anybody. Always have a smile, always train, always work hard, make as much money as possible to look after the people you care about. Always be honest, don't lie, don't cheat, because God is watching.
There you go.
Take that to heart. All those people who are fucking liars and cheaters and not taking care of their families by fucking buying them Bugattis. That's what's going. That's what's happening. God is watching you and going.
God wants somebody that's a multimillionaire to give $10 to charity. Is that what I got out of that?
Yeah.
Get it.
I mean, I think that's pretty reasonable, don't you think?
Don't you understand that?
Always traffic women. Always subjugate them.
What?
God is watching.
I
mean, that would fit.
Well, if you're helping them, I mean,
nah, dude, what is this, man? No. Skip this one and go to the next.
Right,
well, Paul, you have purged the salt from your soul.
Yeah, but like you guys are like fucked up. This is like taking a dude that just on his first day of a diet and sending him a pizza. I don't know anybody that's that fucking low. Well, wait, yeah.
Well, I mean, actually, you do.
So to speak here, I genuinely don't know. Like everyone else, including like squad members. So many like mental negative associations. He's probably not.
It's hard to get this exact
and
minute marker here. So
he has to say on foreign policy.
I'm gonna let Vosh catch up to the point where I know he's going to say what I want you to hear.
Is there something he says something that you think is gonna make me fucking lose my mind? Is that?
I don't know if it'll make you lose your mind, but
so that's why I come from a dude who parked in a handicap spot. Man, I hate people compared to me because I'm blah blah blah.
Oh, sorry.
Blah 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 blah. That's why I said blah blah. Compared to him because I am bald and have a beard. You get compared to Andrew fucking Tate. My sympathies.
That's ironic coming from a dude. Oh yeah, you already read that one. Sorry. I'm conflicted. I still like Andrew Tate. Have some money. I mean, as long as you're giving us money, I don't care.
I mean,
it's
look,
right, dude, you'll be 13 soon, and then you'll
right.
realize.
But do you condemn Houthis, TJ?
The Houthis, TJ.
Houthis? Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't know enough about this Houthi, Yemen, whatever the fuck bullshit.
You heard what's going on in Yemen, TJ?
The Yemeni fucking Houthis or whatever have decided that they were going to fucking block some of the seaports to prevent people from trading with Israel until Israel stop the genocide, and now the United States and Great Britain are bombing the fuck out of Yemen.
Got it. Well, anyway, let's listen to Vosh talk about how he's just like the best and everyone else is shit.
I have no idea.
It might not be the exact
Fucking
minute marker.
wild.
Someone's about to
Now
say
I'm the
something to him.
one guy. Yeah.
Okay,
Jesus.
it's coming up. It's in a second.
Please don't go fucking insane like these people. I think the reason why I haven't
right,
gone
this is it.
insane like these.
This is it.
So, like, what is he responding to, though?
Well, he just
Yeah,
wa-
what's
he
the
just watched
context?
he just watched a Hassan video where Hassan basically said exactly what Paul just said, and Hassan is apparently a fucking complete idiot, moron for saying that.
So Vosh is for the expansion of this war into Yemen now.
I guess.
That's not shocking.
So here's anyway, he's gonna explain why everyone else is stupid.
These people is because I have enough of a personality and like good enough takes and perspectives that I can sort of like project my identity and my analysis without relying on the same tired lefty tropes of like, you know, America bad or whatever. People say that I'm a good onboarding or intro to leftism sometimes, but I don't think I am, because that would imply that there's anything but me after this. But I
I
genuinely
think you're a good onboarding to like traditional lib leftism.
Well, he's saying that he's not good onboarding because there's nothing beyond him. Like once you understand the Vosh, there is nowhere to go from
Vosh
the
is the Mount Everest of leftism.
Yes, I mean, like
I have reached the summit. There's nothing else to see. There are no worlds left to
I
come.
there are no other summits to climb.
I somehow spout pretty much nothing but centrism, but find a way to convince people that it's actually radical leftism. That's interesting.
orthodox leftist content creators. Their takes are more.
I mean,
juvenile.
also, how can you even be objective? We're talking about yourself like that. I mean, like, take out whatever the argument is. Take out what we were debating. I mean, this is just a level of narcissism that is just shocking from anyone. Just like, it's, I mean, like, this is basically almost like a WWE promo of like why Vosh is the best. It's like, according to me, I'm a number one. I'm the best motherfucker around. You can't top me. After you listen to me, you might as well turn off your fucking TV. You might as well turn off your computer. You might as well turn off your phone. Because you've heard all you need to hear. It's like, okay,
insipid than mine ever are, even when I'm feeling particularly spicy that day. Like, you go to other content creators on the left, and like a lot of them, like, dude, listen to what we listen to. He's the biggest lefty streamer, dude. What the fuck? It literally is.
well,
like,
then why aren't you the biggest? If you're the best, you got the best takes, bitch, then why the fuck ain't you number one? This is just salt from fucking Vosh, dude. Oh, you guys are moron. I should be number one. Then become number one. You ain't. That's what the fucking problem is for you, bitch. You ain't number one.
Bad America.
I would just love to hear like a Vosh fan. Maybe there's a few out there. I know there's some people in our audience. This is a little crossover. I would love to ask you, like, let's say that Trump won the last fucking election, right? And let's say it was him that was bombing the Houthis. Do you think that Vosh would be singing a different tune?
Probably so. I mean, I obviously have no way of knowing that.
Right.
Like,
and of course he would say, no, my critical analysis would be the same, my dude. But I think that he would be I think we'd be like, not content with the genocide that he's perpetuating in Palestine, Trump has decided to open up another front of genocide, this time targeting the Houthi people of Yemen, my dude. Like, I think that's the kind of streaming we would be getting. It's just a level of fucking ideological inconsistency. Whenever a lib is in charge, there's always a good reason why we ought to be war. If it was fucking Trump in charge, I don't think that there would be half the amount of criticism.
Vosh is simping for U.S. imperialism and has the balls to put a Palestinian flag in his Twitter profile.
I mean, whatever. Putting a flag in your profile isn't shit.
I mean, it's
dude.
performative.
doesn't do shit.
It's meaningless. Yeah.
It doesn't avails in nobody of anything. So
any argument from chat, he yells for 5 minutes, America bad. Like, that's it, you know? It's juvenile. It's like an unwillingness to
And what about your fucking like absolute inability to admit that America is indeed bad and that maybe we ought to oppose some of the things that America are doing? Like, you're just you're the same as people in the 80s and early 90s arguing for more military interventionism in the world because, yeah, America might not be perfect, but look at all these other places, my dude. They're worse. And it's just like you're accusing everybody else of making excuses, but you're the one making excuses for why America bad is slightly less bad than this or slightly less bad than that.
The complexities of the world, which is, by the way, again, what made Karl Marx special. You think Karl Marx was the first guy to come up with the idea that workers are mistreated? That idea goes back thousands of years. That's not new. There were fucking slaves in Egypt who were like, yeah, man, I think like we're getting like the rough end of the stick here, you know? Like that's not fucking new. It's like intelligent, engaged, critical analysis that distinguishes like the leftist tradition from just, I don't know, campism or just like partisan bullshit, you know, whatever they end up falling into.
I'm just surprised he hasn't come yet. I mean, he's been beating his dick now for a good solid 3 straight minutes. I mean, come on, how long can he hold it back?
So the contention here is that he is the sole source of original critical analysis on YouTube or in the political space.
That's what it sounded like to me.
I mean,
he's the only leftist out there that's putting any thought into his argument.
That's an extraordinary claim. I don't find it to be accurate at all.
I mean, he basically just declared himself the reincarnation of Marx, right?
I mean, yeah. Well, why don't just call yourself the arbiter of truth at that point? Like, don't listen to anyone else. Just listen to me. I mean, that's
I am the new Marx.
I mean, I guess when he called himself messianic, I mean, he wasn't kidding. And put up this guy on a fucking cross, like open a temple for him.
Yeah, Nikki, you thought you were the leftist? No.
Yeah, you no longer. Well, you're not a true leftist. This is only if you agree with Vosh are you a true leftist.
You have been dethroned.
He can see through the matrix. He can see through reality.
All leftism shall be judged through the barometer of Voshism.
Leftism is the wellspring that springs from Vosh's mouth when he speaks from the mountain on high.
The new revolutionary leftism is love the whip, accept the whip, suck it up because you can't change anything. Cool. Neat.
Yeah, you gotta say it in a really fucking like
the Vosh manifesto. He should write it, dude.
You know, my favorite work of Karl Marx is Das Who Gives a Shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do love that one. I do love that Marx book. Very, very seldom talked about, but I can tell that it had a profound effect on Vosh.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how this pans out, I guess.
That's pretty much it.
How what pans out? Your giant ego escaping your body and becoming an entity on its own? Yeah, I guess we will see how that fucking works out.
Yeah.
See how it all comes out in the wash.
Look, I can't lie. I'm interested to see how that happens and the whole process.
So, here's this news story or whatever. These are Houthis. I don't know how to fucking pronounce this shit. I don't know anything about this. All right. I know 0%, 0.0% about this.
Well, it's believed that they are backed by Iran. That's who basically funds them and arms them. And they've been making attacks. I forget what the fucking, what's that fucking shipping?
I know they've been attacking ships.
They've been attacking merchant vessels.
They've been like shooting some missiles at Israel.
Attacking U.S. ships. Yeah. I mean, so they've been provocative, obviously.
So Biden defends strikes on Houthis.
Dude, what? Let me ask you guys a fucking question, honestly. Yeah. How could I respond to somebody who I disagree with that you wouldn't see me? Because I don't think that last little bit was super fucking salty.
I mean, this dude's got 88 in his name, so he's probably a Nazi anyway, so don't worry about it.
Oh, 88 is a Nazi thing?
Yeah, the 1488. That's like, the big Nazi.
Oh, is that a little dog whistle?
Well, I mean, you could also be born in 1988. That's
Scotty.
possible.
No, he's just a Nazi. Don't even worry about it.
Just a Nazi? Okay.
You see the number 88, you're dealing with a Nazi. Just don't even worry about it.
I mean, if they're writing 1488, sure, but if they're writing 88,
there's always an implied 14 next.
There's always an implied.
Somewhere.
No.
All right, hold on. Let's see. Bring him back up. Where is he?
There's always a fucking cadre of these dudes in here.
Shit, Satan. Well, Paul, I mean, this
Satan himself is even.
I mean,
taken,
fuck. That's a whole different story. Sorry, Paul. I mean, if Satan says,
I noticed they never actually fucking have an argument though. That's pretty typical.
Well, the argument is typically just skipping to the end, skipping to the conclusion without providing any evidence as to how they got there.
Yeah, they don't have to show their work, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they never learned that in school. You know, schools are fucking completely shit now. So
School
yeah,
has
fair
failed
enough.
them. Yeah,
they never learned how to show their work.
poor little bastards.
I never learned how to construct an argument. You'd think they would, though, watching Vosh.
My argument is, Paul, you
you
better manage your fucking finances better, bitch. That's my argument to you.
Yeah, why are your finances in such fucking
I mean,
disarray?
disarray. I mean, Paul's finances, I mean, I hate to say a lot like boogies at this point.
know what the
Like
funny
boogies.
thing about that is that I think a lot of people assumed, like, because the conversation was like jumping back and forth a lot.
Sure.
And when I said, I'm not saying I'm still in debt, I'm saying I'm in worse debt than my parents were. I was talking about like the typical member of my generation,
Right.
not necessarily
Customer
me.
Gen X millennials.
But I think a lot of people like took it to mean that I was in some kind of crushing debt. I'm actually in no debt. I'm very lucky to have availed myself of all of the debt that I accrued in my 20s.
I mean, maybe
So-
back in the day, Paul had some debt, but I mean, as far as now,
I've
I mean,
had debt. I had debt when I was in my 20s and early 30s and shit.
I mean, you owned a house at one point. You had a mortgage. You had debt.
I mean, that's a
mean,
massive pile of debt.
So,
right?
Scotty, I mean, if you look here, Scotty, at this comment, you notice there's 12 words in the comment itself, and plus there's 2 words in the username.
well, there's 2 numbers. Here's what you're saying.
No, there's 2 words. We're looking at the words right now, Scotty. Pay attention.
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2,
There's-
3. I'm
there's
not
12.
I'm not taking your word for it, TJ. 1,
Okay,
2,
go ahead.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I see 11, TJ.
Are you not counting the word Paul as a word?
Oh, okay. You're talking about the actual text.
Yeah,
I thought you
the
were talking about his
text.
user. I thought you were talking about his username.
No, I'm talking about words, not letters, words. There's
oh my God, get to the point.
Some
I almost-
numerology shit.
I
here.
would have gotten to it if Scotty would just
Well,
fucking.
I'm just asking.
grasp the
Look, I'm
fucking
not allowed to ask
simple concept.
questions. I'm not Well, I mean, you're not
Look,
being very
Scotty,
clear.
it's not fucking complicated. There's 12
It is
fucking
fucking complicated.
words. There's 12 words in the comment. There's 2 words in the username.
No,
That's 14. Plus,
I dispute that. I
then you got
dispute
an
that.
88 at the end. That's 1488, Scotty. This is a
No, I
fucking goddamn Nazi
I don't see
if I've
that.
ever seen one.
I don't see that, TJ.
Well, you know what, Scotty? I guess
I
you're
don't
just
see that.
blind. You're blind to the fucking Nazi menace lurking right before your very eyes, then, Scotty. That's all I can fucking tell you.
I'll tell you, I think you're just chasing shadows, dude. You're chasing fucking windmills, dude. You're crazy.
Maybe. They said I was crazy, but then I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
Hello, I'm Terry Moran. We're coming on the air with breaking news right now. The United States has launched retaliatory airstrikes in the nation of Yemen in the Middle
Big
East
mistake, bitch.
against Houthi
Big mistake.
rebels in that country.
You saying it's a big? Are you being sincere? You say it's a big mistake, or
No, I'm talking about the person in the chat.
oh, okay,
They said ban me, and they got timed out.
okay, I got it. What is the? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know enough about this to possibly even have a fucking.
Why don't you
opinion,
hear about
so-
it for a second, TJ? Then you can form a fucking
Well,
opinion.
I'm just wondering. I like to hear other people's opinions and then glom onto those. So you just tell me yours, Scotty. What's your
Houthis
opinion?
don't like Jews. That's something that'll be pointed out. Houthis are,
I heard their flag has some like "fuck Jews" shit on it or something.
Yeah,
I think
I mean,
it does. Yeah, I think it
they're
says a
funded
curse
by
upon the
Iran.
Jews or something.
They're anti-Jewish for sure. They're anti-Semitic for sure.
They know like of the Jew. They've been doing what I guess people have called piracy in the Gulf as a fucking way to mitigate trade going to Israel to try and convince Israel to stop bombing Palestine. And the U.S. has decided that they're going to intervene, not just by because here's my question, right? We've covered this before too. The United States has the biggest navy in the world by a huge margin, right?
Yeah.
If we want to stop this, why do we have to go to the maximum collateral damage option? Why don't we just okay, so what's the problem? What are the Houthis doing that's a problem? They're pirating boats that are trying to pass through the strait or whatever.
And they're attacking U.S. warships.
Right. Well, U.S. and international
Sure. I mean, yeah.
trade boat, whatever.
But I know the U.S. has
But
destroyed
yeah,
some
I
of
mean,
their
it's fine,
ships
yeah.
and drones and stuff. Yeah.
So why don't we just take one of those big giant aircraft carriers and park it right in there? with all of the fucking techno gadgets that let them track all these boats and all the drones and all the jets ready to fucking go. And why don't we just blow up any Houthi ship that makes an aggressive move towards anybody or approaches any, you know what I mean? Like that seems to like a fair and proportionate reaction.
Well, some Democrats in Congress have actually said that they believe that Congress, of course, has the powers vested in war and when we go to war, and Biden is acting unilaterally. But we've seen, I mean, every president I know of since Bush and probably
Well, yeah,
that,
I mean that's why these precedents are so fucking dangerous. You know what I mean? Because once they're set, because like I guarantee you, if you go back and find Biden around the time of the Iraq War and shit, well, maybe not Biden, but you'd find a lot of people that are still in the party bitching about Trump unilaterally fucking starting a war without congressional approval and shit. And now that's just the status quo. Like, I don't know why
it's
people
like,
are
oh, we've
even
been
bothering
attacked.
to
Yeah,
bitch about that. It makes Biden a typical president, which is really what I've been arguing the whole time.
I mean, Obama.
My argument has never been that like Biden is some uniquely bad president, that he's just a typical fucking neoconservative warmongering fucking piece of shit president.
All right. I've seen this person in the last like couple of streams asking this question, so apparently they're having trouble figuring this out. So are we getting more for the merch chair than the poster? I don't know how many times like we've explained this. The poster is the introductory gift for when you join the tier. That has been signed by Paul. It has been sent to me. I have also signed it. I am sending it to Scotty, and then Scotty is going to send it out to all of you. You get your that's just for signing up. You get your first piece of merch after you've been signed up for 3 months. This was explained multiple times. It's explained on the tier itself if you go read the description. I don't know how much more fucking clear it could fucking possibly fucking be. I know you're giving money, apparently, so I don't want to be too rude, but Jesus fucking Christ, learn to fucking read and clean the fucking wax out of your fucking ears. Because it's been explained to you to death. Okay.
You're so salty, TJ.
Sorry. Anyway. I think it's probably about time I did this again, so hold on. I have to tell you again about Zeke Z.
Why do we need to know about Zeke Z again?
You need to know again.
His shadow lurks around every bend. Ye shall surely see the horror of the nightmare man, the one they call Zeke Z.
Wow. That's I mean, the hype is real, TJ. I don't know what to tell you.
Yep. It's getting there. It's building. It's a whole little campaign, Paul. You know, you can't just fucking throw one of these characters at people anymore. You got to fucking build the hype.
It lacks a little punch though, because I know a guy named Zeke. I've got a friend named Zeke, and so I just think of him.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to really fucking hit it out of the park with me, you know.
I mean, I workshopped a lot of names, Paul. I workshopped a lot of names. So, you know, it's very carefully chosen. Anyway.
These U.S. airstrikes come in the wake of a slew of recent attacks by Houthi forces on commercial shipping vessels in the Red Sea, including one earlier today, disrupting trade through that critical passage, risking significant impacts on the world economy. And so tonight, the U.S. has retaliated in Yemen itself. Tomahawk cruise missiles and fighter jets striking Houthi targets in that country. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang joins me now with the latest, along with ABC News national security analyst Mick Mulray. Selena, what do we know about these airstrikes at this hour?
Well, we're just getting news that they have launched these retaliatory strikes against multiple Houthi targets in Yemen. The officials said that the strikes involve a mix of Tomahawk cruise missiles and fighter jets. Of course, now, Terry, this follows.
I saw too that Kyle Kalinske got noted on this shit.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like he got a Twitter note or whatever. I'll pull up the tweet. Let me just see here. So I don't usually see these notes on people I follow, but
Houthi and the blowfish.
yeah. An unconstitutional bombing campaign. Sorry. Akbar Shahid Ahmed said, the Biden administration has told leaders in Congress there will be a U.S./UK airstrikes in Yemen tonight, per a U.S. official. Kyle says, an unconstitutional bombing campaign because Yemen blocked trade with Israel in an attempt to stop a genocide. And then the note says, this is false. According to 50 U.S. Code 1543, the president has 48 hours to submit a report setting forth reasons for military action. The U.S. strike was against Houthi sites in Yemen used for drone/missile launching in response to ship attacks in the Red Sea.
Basically, the president has emergency powers to authorize these strikes. And obviously, then at some later point, they have to seek approval, because if there's probably some emergency situation, there's, if there's other circumstances beyond it, because I guess you could make an argument, well, what if America's attacked and Congress can't even give approval?
Sure.
The president has to be able to act in some capacity. So, I mean, there could be some argument under some circumstances in which, obviously, the United States would probably retaliate. Like, obviously, mutually assured destruction. I mean, if the Soviet Union at the time launched missiles at the U.S., we're not just going to sit back and go, well, we'll wait and see what Congress has to say. They're going to respond.
I was kind of hoping that Kyle.
I'm not comparing those two situations. I'm just saying, like, there's going to be certain circumstances that's going to be.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping Kyle would respond to that note somehow, but I haven't seen him do it. Maybe he'll do it in a video or something, or maybe he'll just ignore
I'm sure
it.
he will.
Because I mean, I don't know. It's not too often that I see anyone in my timeline get those fucking notes appended to them. It's usually people who are way more dishonest.
Wacky.
Yeah.
Wacky, crazy. I mean, look, if someone can cite a law and, there's something else beyond just opinion, I mean, obviously it should be considered. I mean, I'm not saying Kyle's infallible.
Kyle Kalinske became a shit lib when he married Crystal Ball. You think she's his old crystal ball and chain?
From what I understand,
that criticism is a level that a lot of people, that they change when they get in a relationship. That's not even uncommon.
You changed, Scotty, but you changed for the better.
See, there you go.
Yeah, you're like less horrible.
Yeah, I mean, someone puts me because I mean, my worst impulse is actually someone to tell me that they are that. TJ,
thank God for that.
That's definitely happened with you. Your hygiene has actually improved slightly.
Yeah, I'm not quite as disgusting as I used to be. Yeah,
yeah, it is. I'm
supposed
sorry,
to be like, TJ, you fucking stink. Go take a shower. It's like, all right.
But Paul, I cut you off. What were you saying, man?
Yes, Mistress Chelsea.
One of the things that I understand is it was not necessarily the president's war powers that changed under the Bush administration, but rather like the definition of what war is. Like 20 years ago or 30 years ago, if the United States started launching missiles at a country, the papers would all say war on them the next day. You know what I mean? That's war. That's attacking another fucking country, bombing their fucking infrastructure and shit. That's war. Now you'll notice that war has not been said with reference to what America is doing in this entire fucking report.
Yeah, they're called retaliatory strikes.
Yeah, it was called a retaliatory strike or a limited strike or whatever the fuck. And so what we consider to be war, now in my mind, war is still, you have now attacked another fucking country. You've entered into open conflict with a country. You're at war with them. Not so anymore. The president still requires congressional approval to send America to war. It's just now he can call something a military conflict or a UN policing action or a limited engagement or whatever the fuck, and it's not war.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a military slush fund. We fund the military massively in the United States. We spend over $1 trillion a year on it, and I mean, obviously, we have military installations all over the world. And I honestly think that it makes sense for them to change it if they want to do those operations. And I don't think they should, but I understand why they've done it, because of course then that gives them license to do whatever they need to do wherever they want in the world. Because if they had to and here's the thing too, the public backlash, if every time the US did these sort of actions, I mean, Congress would be basically stymied with like, okay, now we did an attack here in Africa. Now we attacked this place in the Middle East. Now we did this here. I mean, there's been strikes in Syria. There's been strikes in Yemen. There have been strikes all over the fucking world.
Lebanon.
Yeah, Lebanon. I mean, I know we've done. I know we've done some stuff in defense of Israel already. So I know there's stuff.
A lot of the. I think all of those places in defense of Israel.
You know, I mean, so like a lot of that stuff has happened, and none of it with congressional approval. I mean, we have operations everywhere in the world. I mean, that's what every fucking superpower has. I mean, but especially the United States. That's how we exert powers through military strength. So it doesn't surprise me. But I mean, I do remember like what you're talking about, the definition being changed. I'm not 100% on it because I mean, I just don't know enough. But I definitely would like to look into it more, to be honest with you. TJ,
I don't think they officially changed the definition, just legally. Like
what was that? What was that code that was cited, TJ? What was that code that they cited? I'm interested in that.
Code was cited. Oh, the one in
the federal law that was it was like US 90 or something. US.
Let me go ahead and check really quick. I closed the tweet since then. But I.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had it open still.
No, I'll go find it again really quick. Let's see.
Oh shit! You're becoming mechanical J.
What?
A robotic J.
Oh my! Am I like fading out or something?
Yep.
You were bad with that. I might have to restart, but I'll give you the code first. So the code in question, or the law in question, is U.S. Code 1543. Did you get that?
Oh yeah, I did.
All right, I'm gonna do something real quick that might.
Are you sure that's it? Because that says U.S. Forgery or false use of passport.
That's what I'm looking at here.
Can you put it on the screen?
Yes.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding something.
According to U.S. Code 1543.
Oh, 50. Okay, it's U.S. Code 5043. Okay.
No, it says 15.
No, 50 is part of it too.
Oh yeah. To 50 U.S. Code. Okay, yeah.
U.S. Code 5043. 1543. Okay, let's see. Okay. I'm just trying. So 50. This is fucking weird. It's not. That can't be it.
There's some links here. I don't know if any of these might be useful.
Yeah, that might be useful. And there it is.
U.S. Code 1543, reporting requirement.
In the absence of a declaration of war, in any case which the United States Armed Forces are introduced, one into hostilities or into situations where imminent involvement in hostilities is clearly indicated by the circumstances. So they would argue the action of the Houthi rebels attacking U.S. and other merchant vessels into the territory, airspace, or waters of a foreign nation while equipped for combat except for deployments which relate solely to supply, replacement, repair, or training to such forces, or in numbers which substantial and large United States Armed Forces equipped for combat are already located in a foreign nation. So it's like we're right there. The U.S. President, the President, shall submit within 40 hours to the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the President pro tempore of the Senate a report in writing setting forth the circumstances necessitating the introduction of U.S. Armed Forces, the constitutional and legislative authority under which such introduction took place, and the estimated scope and duration of the hostilities and involvement. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess under our laws, yeah, the president can just he's required to report it. Okay. So that's all they have to do. As long as they tell us, hey, I'm doing this, then they're okay. It's kind of like how they have in Congress have to report stock trades like within 45 days. Hey guys, by the way, we're at war. We got to do it. I'm sure that I'm sure that the House or the Senate's going to stop it too.
I saw this article called "How Houthi Hornets' Nest May Sting U.S." I thought that was maybe interesting because I'm always fascinated by the concept of like blowback and shit from our little escapades. The militaries of the U.S. and its allies are preparing for potential Houthi escalation after overnight airstrikes on the Yemeni rebel group, which for months has been attacking commercial shipping in the Red Sea and launching ballistic missiles towards Israel. The U.S. Air Force's Mideast Command said it struck over 60 targets at 16 sites in Yemen including command and control nodes, munitions depots, launching systems, production facilities, and air defense radar systems. A senior U.S. defense official told journalists late on Thursday this was a significant action and conducted with every objective and every expectation that will degrade in a significant way the Houthis' capability to launch exactly the sorts of attacks they have conducted over the period of recent weeks. The Yemeni militant group, which since 2014 has been at war with the Western recognized Yemeni government and its allies in the form of a Saudi Arabian-led coalition, has vowed to hit back.
Remember, we were giving Saudis weapons and funding to fight these guys before, too.
Sure. Any strikes against us will be responded to, absolutely, without the slightest doubt, with all force and determination, and the region will be on the verge of escalation, the end of which no one knows. Nasreddin Amr, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, the Deputy Information Secretary for Ansar Allah, the official name for the Houthis, told Newsweek on Thursday, as reports of the U.S.-UK strikes emerged. The Western strikes alone will not stop the Houthis, a group that has successfully weathered nearly a decade of war with Saudi Arabia and its regional allies. I have no reason not to believe them. Bilal Saab, a senior fellow at the Middle East Institute think tank in Washington, D.C., and director of its defense and security programs, told Newsweek of the Houthi threat of retaliation. I don't think they're bluffing. They will respond. They see opportunity in a fist fight with the world's most powerful nation, he said. We can see that the Western response is not going to work, has its risks, has its consequences, and yet we still feel compelled, both for political reasons, but also strategic, to pursue that approach. I do not think that inaction really was an option. Every single option that was presented to President Joe Biden was bad, and then it becomes an issue of choosing the least bad option.
Oh, we know how that feels as American voters, don't we?
I guess we do.
I mean, I get it. But that's a laughable sentiment. It's kind of like the U.S. didn't want to be involved in this conflict. We've been involved with this.
It's a way to sidestep any criticism, is just saying, like, look, I realize that it sucks, but it sucks less than other things.
Yeah, what's the other thing, dude? Well, but I mean, the other argument will make sense to Americans too. You just want to sit back. They attack us, and we're supposed to just sit back and do nothing. TJ, someone comes to your house and kicks your front door, and do you just sit back and do nothing?
No,
you fight back. You push that person out of your house. And then look, we happen to be over there, but TJ, we're protecting trade. We're protecting commerce. We've got to do this, TJ. We have to go. So we have to go and expand this conflict.
I hate it when people talk about war and try and use your house as an example or something.
I mean, but the equivalent here wouldn't be someone knocking down the door to my house. The equivalent here would be like, I'm fucking around in someone else's backyard and someone like throws a fucking spit wad at me or something. And I'm like, hey, like, I don't necessarily, and then me going and kicking the door on their house down. I don't know. So like, if we're going to take it to that like neighborhood level,
it's just like, you know, usually a tactic to try and dull the edges around a fucking war action or whatever, to try and compare it to like, well, what would you do if the fucking Russians came and kicked your door down? It's like, that's completely and utterly reducing the complexity of this fucking issue.
What if the Houthis raped your mom though? Then what?
Right.
Oh, well,
It's
in
like,
that case, you know,
kill them all.
I better put my fucking
it's just a
reservations
cheap
aside.
appeal to emotion, which, you know, like my side of this argument gets kind of like blamed for taking it emotional. But that, I mean, what do you think that type of argumentation is? That, what would you do if your house was Ukraine? It's just like, that doesn't even make any sense if you think about it. Like, what if my house was a giant like multinational entity? I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about it then, you know.
So Houthi retaliation. The Pentagon has so far not seen any direct retaliatory action directed toward our U.S. or other coalition members. I mean, you're not going to see it right away from a force like this, right?
No, they're in the oh shit point now. They're like gathering up what's left after the initial bombing and figuring out how to retaliate. But there will be retaliation, guaranteed.
We would not be surprised to see some sort of response. As to whether this will merely degrade or also deter, I guess I can't do better than what the president has said, which is that he will not hesitate to direct further measures to protect our people and the free flow of international commerce as necessary.
So is this part of Biden's working quietly behind the scenes?
No, this he's comfortable doing loudly and out in the open.
Okay, got it.
When it comes to the stuff we want him to do, that's
this eventual outcome, though. Is this part of, what he's been working on quietly behind the scenes?
No, this seems like it goes in the other direction.
Got it.
The Houthis boast some 20,000 fighters, fearsome ballistic missile and drone arsenal, much of the equipment supplied by Iran or based on Iranian designs. The group has reportedly launched successful missile and drone attacks on sensitive Saudi and Emirati military and infrastructure targets throughout their war with the Gulf nation.
You guys remember at the beginning of this, there was a lot of people talking about how Biden didn't want this to blossom into a wider regional conflict. And this bombing of the Houthis is step one to that actually happening. Really close connections with Iran. You know what I mean? Like they're just asking Iran to broaden.
I mean, we've already been
a regional conflict.
We've already been in de facto conflict with the Houthis by, supporting Saudi Arabia, right? So
good old proxy conflict.
Yeah, I mean, like we've just taken it from like, all right, we don't need a proxy to fight these fucks. Let's just fucking attack them directly.
Well, the spice must flow, right? So if the Saudi royal family has the spice, the oil, and they say, look, we've been dealing with these people and you guys need to do something about this, you better believe we're going to do something about it. And I mean, the American public is going to support this. And for the exact reasons you're talking about, emotional appeal, sure. They're not going to look into the issue like this. They're going to hear these people are attacking America. What do you want to do? You want to sit back like a fucking coward? Or do you want to be strong like the United States of America and go kick the shit out of these fucking pieces of shit in the desert who are fucking trying to take our shit from us? We're trying to fuck with us. I mean, it goes back to the founding of this nation. The pirates of fucking Tripoli. It's like, these are pirates. They're evil. We got to kill them. You don't negotiate with pirates. You kill them. That's the only thing pirates understand. It's going to be very simplistic, and people will support it almost assuredly.
And that's that, I guess. Anyone else? Paul, do you have anything else to say on this issue before we move on?
No, I just wouldn't be shocked if this broadens into a wider conflict in the coming weeks.
We shall see.
Oh shit, Paul prediction, TJ. Mark it down.
Paul
Mark that shit down.
I said I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying it's, I think that's like soft prediction.
All right, soft prediction.
But I will claim I will claim it was a hard read if I'm right, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you're right,
I will claim it was a
I
cold,
fucking
dead
called
read.
it again.
Paul
Fucking
Stradamus
rolled
strikes
boxcars.
again.
I rolled box cars again if it's right, but if it's wrong, it was just a soft feeling. You know what I mean? Like maybe an inkling.
Yeah, I mean, I
of an
threw
idea.
something out there, but I mean, I wasn't
Yeah,
too
whatever.
confident in,
That's the way it works.
Good call. Trump ally Laura Loomer brutally mocked for claiming Nikki Haley is using weather control to steal the Iowa caucus.
What?
Yeah. That's right. Trump ally and known conspiracy theorist Laura Loomer was widely panned this week after she accused Nikki Haley and her friends in the defense industry of using weather manipulation to create extreme cold in Iowa in order to steal Monday's caucus from former President Donald Trump. While Loomer is very much a fringe figure in American politics, she is popular among the MAGA base and has the ear of Trump, who regularly shares her screeds on his social media platform. Trump met with Loomer at his Bedminster Country Club over the summer and praised her work, praised the work she does on his behalf, and reportedly even tried to hire her earlier in the year. Loomer failed twice, even with Trump's endorsement as a candidate for Congress in Trump's Palm Beach district and then a North Central Florida district, and is close friends with MAGA influencers like Roger Stone. In April, after an angry backlash to reports Loomer may join his campaign in an official capacity, a high-ranking campaign official said Ms. Loomer was no longer going to be hired, reported in the New York Times. Maggie Haberman added, before the intense blowback, Trump had been telling aides to give Loomer a job, obsessed with her attacks on Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. But the intense reaction to it being reported changed things. Is the deep state activating HARP to disrupt Iowa caucus? Wrote Loomer on Thursday night, adding, we all know Nikki Haley has a lot of friends in the defense industry and military industrial complex. She's losing in Iowa, and now Iowa is set to get hit with a once-in-a-decade blizzard as Donald Trump is set to dominate the Iowa caucus. Is the deep state using HARP to rig the Iowa caucus? Looks like weather manipulation to me. Take a look at this weather radar below and how incoming snowstorm accelerated out of nowhere. Dude, what? I mean, goddamn. How would that even work? You use HARP to fucking bring a snowstorm. Doesn't that fucking stop her people from going out to the voting booth too? Or are only Trump supporters going to be affected by the snowstorm somehow? I think Scotty and Paul both just fucking left. Wait. This isn't what I wanted next. This is. Planet's most abnormally cold air to surge in the lower 48 states. Everybody fucking get ready. You know what? Actually, since Paul and Scotty don't seem to be here at the moment, I'm going to give you guys another promo. You need it. Hold on, it takes a minute to set up.
He comes for you, a demon's eyes lurk behind that tree. You're dead before you know he's there. Beware, beware, Zeke Z. Oh shit, that's not what I want.
Fuck is this shit?
What's what?
This is bullshit.
What do you want?
What do you want?
It's gonna get cold, Scotty.
Good.
You like that?
It's not gonna get cold for me though, is it?
Yeah, probably will.
Fuck. That's not good.
I mean, it's gonna get cold everywhere. The cold is coming. Here's a chill map.
Woo, baby.
This is a wind chill. It's coming for you, Scotty.
I'm looking where you're on the map, dude. It's coming for your ass too. Ooh, TJ, you're gonna be a cold motherfucker, TJ.
I mean, it's gonna be way colder at least it's not as cold as these motherfuckers up here. These motherfuckers are gonna be frigid up here.
This is the only time I miss living down south, like deep in the south, because they're fine.
I mean, it's still gonna get cold for them. It's just not gonna get fucking like this shit.
I mean, I'm not too bad off. I'm on the very edge of this, to be honest with you. So I'm not like too bad. Well, I guess not the very edge, but I'm close to the edge.
Yeah, but some cold is coming, folks.
Lester in Florida, America's turd.
Weatherman TJ, why? I mean, like, it's okay to talk about the weather when it's fucking like exceptional weather. All right.
Yeah. Well, this weather system is affecting like hundreds.
It's
of millions
not like
of people.
I'm just fucking like it looks like a nice sunshiny day outside today, huh?
Looks like it might be a little bit of bad weather.
No, I mean, like, this is like historically fucking cold, bitch. This shit's fucking. It's brutal. It's brutal ass cold,
TJ?
man.
You gonna fucking take that off that guy?
You know what? No, fuck him.
Good.
You're putting time out, motherfucker. Yeah.
Time out for you.
Stunning cold crash coming this week from
nice
the Arctic.
Nice to be here in sunny California during all of this frigid weather elsewhere. You know,
California is going to be affected by it too. Not where you're at, but parts of California.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of California is going to be hit, but yeah, I guess.
I
a lot of
mean,
the
if
coast
you know
shit.
California, you know that that area right there is all mountains. There's like 10 people that live in that stretch of land. Come on.
There's millions of people that live there, Paul.
No.
Millions upon millions upon millions of
millions
people.
upon millions, of
Millions
dollars.
and millions of people, Paul, are going to be affected in California. But Paul, even if you say California is not going to be super affected, your brethren, Oregon and Washington, fellow West Coast states,
They ain't our brethren.
they're not your brethren. I thought you guys liked them.
I mean, we tolerate them because they toe the fucking line, but
Okay, damn.
as soon as they hairlip California, we're just going to expand our borders a little bit.
I mean, that checks out. I wouldn't be surprised if California's aggression would never cease.
Much of the central United States takes this Arctic attack head on. Quite powerful considering our warming climate. Here's how cold it is forecast to get in a number of cities, several of which could set calendar day record lows.
All right, any of these cities matter? No.
Some people in Montana are going to be dealing with minus 36.
I mean, it's fucking always cold in Montana.
Yeah, but it's not usually minus 36.
It's always fucking dude. Do you remember that polar vortex that came down to Ohio that one time? It was like negative 40 or some shit.
I went out naked in that shit just to see.
I think you said it was like instantly you had to run back in.
Yeah.
I was like handle a second.
I was like, I was like, fucking let me stay out there for a fucking 30 seconds and see or whatever.
There's no way, dude.
I went out there, I was instantly like, no. Let me back in.
Let me go.
Can't do it.
Oh shit, Dallas is gonna be 11. Well, for the low. I mean, yeah.
Just gonna be
That's
0 in St. Louis. Gonna be nothing. No temperature.
-8 in Denver.
I mean, it's always 0 in St. Louis. Let's be honest.
I mean, yeah, that's
truth. You
Paul
speak the
speaks
truth. Paul speaketh the truth. Anyway, you asked me fucking freezing ass cold, so I hope you motherfuckers got your jackets or whatever.
Not a single California city.
Nope.
A lot of California cities affected.
Sun-kissed California wins again.
43% of people now identifying as independents or whatever. So here you go. This is the chart. So you see, like back in the 90s and shit. Like let's go back to like the beginning of the chart here is that pre-90s? That's 1988. You had 36% Democrat, 33% independent, and 31% Republican. But you know, as you can see, over the course of the 2000s, more and more people identifying as independent. It's pretty much run away. We're now at 27% of people identifying as Democrat, 27% of people identifying as Republican, and 43% saying fuck both those motherfuckers.
It's almost like
I'm independent.
it's almost like there's a clear fucking movement in people's thinking towards a third way. Isn't that shocking?
No, Paul. No, there's not.
Maybe somebody on the left ought to advocate for ditching the two-party system and maybe setting something else up. I don't know.
Why are you trying to vote for Trump, Paul? You're a Trump supporter. Fuck you, Paul. No.
I have to, like many other people,
Don't waste your vote. Don't vote
on
for
YouTube.
Trump.
I have to defer my thinking to Saint Vosh.
Well, I mean, you're smart to do that because that's basically
of our time.
He is the light, the truth, and the way.
The marks of our time, dude.
if Vosh saith that should be the course of action, then I agree. If he
Vosh.
saith not, then I vote blue, no matter who.
Vosh is the marks of our time. Every thought that he has is sublime. He's always right. He's never wrong, Paul.
Dude, Vosh does have a little dizzy sidekick that just talks him up every time.
Why does he live in your head rent free, Paul? That's what I want to know. You hate
Are you
Vosh
asking
so much.
me?
Why
You're
is in there?
the one having a Vosh meltdown right now. He's
Oh,
living in
we
your
all
head
know.
right there.
We all know who you're talking about, Paul. When you made your little snide remarks a second
Yep.
ago, we all knew it was on your fucking mind.
I don't know
Even
what
when you
you're
don't
talking
say the word, I can hear it.
The
I can
last
hear the
thought
word.
Paul has when he goes to sleep.
You practically breathe it. Like your snores are like. We know it, Paul.
It's true.
Admit your lies.
All right, I admit I'm a secret Trump supporter.
I knew
Yep,
it.
we knew it.
Damn it!
I knew what you were all about.
Time to put it all out there,
Trump,
guys.
Trump,
I'm a Trump guy.
It's okay, Paul. We always knew.
Scotty.
Yes.
Why you put this filter on me, bitch?
Put what filter on me?
Fucking had me all fucking in verse the whole fucking show. You didn't tell me shit.
I thought that was.
I mean, I
choice.
thought your edgy ass did that on purpose. You just accidentally did.
I mean, how would I even do that? Scotty did that shit.
I didn't do it. I have no means of controlling that.
Oh, likely fucking story.
I can edit. I can edit your mic settings. That's all I can do.
The
I can
answer
adjust
is
your
ranked
mic
choice
volume.
voting, not third party. Oh, yeah. You know, all we got to do is get the two parties that have absolute dominance over the political system to just go ahead and allow a system that might fucking challenge that. You the man now, dog.
Yeah, what incentive do those parties have to do that? No, on a state level, I think it could be possible
like,
through ballot measures.
I have
and
a
stuff like that.
proposal for the king. I have a proposal for the king. What is it? Abolish the monarchy. Like, I don't think the king's gonna do that, man.
No, like, I mean, there's certain states that have adopted that. I mean, so I think it's possible on a state level. On a federal level, that seems very unlikely.
This is just. Guess what? Here's the fucking point of this article. Bunch of pastors and evangelicals support Trump. What do you think of that? What do you think of that shit, Scotty?
Was that ever in doubt?
What do you think of that shit, Scotty?
Was it ever in doubt that was going to be the case?
Here, I don't know. Read some and find out. I'm gonna go fucking fill my water glass.
You don't drink water, teacher. Don't lie. Davenport, Iowa. Donald Trump doesn't have the support of Iowa's most prominent evangelical leader in Monday's caucuses. But in Iowa and across the country, MAGA pastors are among Trump's most loyal backers. I can't believe it. It can't be true. That isn't so. It's not just that they like the former president for appointing 3 Supreme Court justices who helped overturn abortion rights. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're on that side of it, you're probably coming in your pants. Some of Trump's most enthusiastic believers, fitting that they call themselves believers too, are pastors who share his dark view of the U.S. politics, who've turned, or who've touted him.
You make me a believer.
Oh God,
believer.
That address.
Yeah,
touted him as risen to prominence on social media. Yeah, I see the shit all the time. I see the shit on social media all the time that like it's God's will that Trump was president.
Modern music fucking sucks, bro. That Believer song can suck my balls.
So this person said in a super chat, they have to do it state by state. That's how elections are run. Well, I know elections are run that way, but I mean there is this federal process that has to happen. You can't say there's no federal process in federal elections. I know the states run the elections, but I'm not sure if it would not be challenged as being unconstitutional. I don't know the legality of that. Unless you're a constitutional scholar, I don't think you do either. But I do take your word for it as done state by state. Well, not your word. I mean, obviously, I know that's elections are run. I mean, if that's viable, though, I mean, obviously, I support it. I'm not against states doing ranked choice voting. If that's in fact how it has to happen, I mean, all the better. Though I don't. But though in some states it is difficult to pass that, they don't have strong ballot initiatives. Let's see here. Zoom in.
Believer.
I never took you for an Imagine Dragons fan, Paul.
Oh, I love them, dude. They're my favorite band.
Faith leaders who've been.
What's another Imagine Dragons song?
Didn't they do Radioactive? They did that one, right?
I don't know.
Is that the same band? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Let me see. Imagine Dragons hits.
Dude, you know what song I hated?
There's a lot you hate, but which one?
I go out of my way and I'm doing just fine. Gotta play Mr. Brightside. Do you remember that song?
Oh my God, yeah, that was
jealousy, turning face into the sea, swimming in the lonely bay.
Cause I'm at the bird town. Yeah, that was.
I blame them for starting this whole like pussy rock phase. Really,
The Killers. Yeah, they're definitely a huge part of it. Let's see. I'm learning about the origin of them, but what were their hits? All right. I'm just gonna go to a different. Their Wikipedia's got too much. I don't care about that shit. I just want to know their fucking hits. Okay, their YouTube. That'll show me their hits. All right, their videos popular. And so the most popular is Believer. Then it's Thunder, Lightning, and then the Thunder. Yeah, then Radioactive, Demons. I don't know if I've heard. I probably have. Whatever it takes. Oh, dude, they get some crazy views. Believer has 2.5 billion views. Obviously, mainly people just listening to it.
Believer.
So, dude, just the sheer number of listens, and they have 31 million subscribers. So, I mean, yeah, just the sheer number of that would have made them millions upon millions of dollars.
Imagine dog shit. Yeah, that's a better name.
The Killers are amazing, though. I don't really agree.
I mean, what's the difference between pussy rock and butt rock? And is there a dick rock? I mean,
I'll tell you the difference between pussy rock and fucking and butt rock. I know that for sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I don't know. Maybe Paul disagrees with my definitions here.
Well, Believer is 6 years old.
But
so
pussy rock.
Then he sings a song that's 20. It's not 20 years old.
Give me a sad sack lyric, Paul. Just throw a sad sack lyric at me. Just any generic bullshit.
Your hair is everywhere, screaming infidelity.
All right. All I need is your hair is everywhere. Okay, so pussy rock be like, your hair is everywhere. Whereas butt rock be like, your hair is everywhere.
Yeah.
Like that. That's the difference. Butt rock tries to sing pussy shit, but like keep some macho to it. But it's like this.
Or imagine the last mainstream rock group to be on the charts. I don't know.
Wasn't there like Kings of Leon? Are they still a thing or no?
I don't know.
I think I've heard. I know what you're talking about.
Rock is dead, dude. Rock is deader than dead.
Shock is all in your head.
Dude, Manson called it years ago, TJ. I gotta give Manson credit for that. He made that prediction. All right, not even prediction, but I don't think the time Rock was dead when that song came out. When Mechanical Animals came out, I don't agree.
Rock is dead.
I think it was dying.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was dying, but it was not dead at that point.
People have been saying Rock is dead forever, dude. That saying's old as fuck.
I mean, at this point, I mean, all right, do you have satellite radio?
No. Oh wait, I do actually for the moment because I got a car.
All right, tune into. I actually pay for it. I only pay $5 a month though because I never pay the full price. The modern rock station is called Octane. It's channel 37 on there.
Sure,
go listen to that. Yeah,
I listened to it a few times.
Yeah, it's garbage. I mean, like that. To me, it's hardly rock music. It's like pop. It's like
you guys know who fucking T-Pain is, dude?
Yes.
Yeah.
T-Pain. You talking about his Aussie cover?
He's like a singer guy.
Yeah. I heard his fucking. I was fucking scrolling through Instagram or whatever, just like scrolling through the shit, and I saw T-Pain covering fucking War Pigs. Yeah, it was War Pigs, and I was like, the fuck is this bullshit? And then I listened to it, I was like, wow, that's actually fucking really good.
He's actually got a really good voice.
Yeah, it was fucking kind of amazing.
No, it was a solid cover, dude.
Yeah.
He's that dude. You remember when we watched that clip of the black guy that like the people were calling him N-word in the Call of Duty match, and he like solo killed the entire enemy team?
Yeah, was that him?
Yeah, that's T-Pain.
Dude, T-Pain's cool as fuck. I'm officially, based on those two things I know about T-Pain, he's cool.
Yeah, no. I mean, you wouldn't like his music, probably, like his normal shit, but
whatever.
So,
I'll be a fan of everything.
Killers slapped her in the indie heyday in the 2000s. Let us have our nostalgia poll. You can think they slapped.
Did we see the Killers on accident, or was that?
No, we saw them at Voodoo Fest. That's where we saw them.
Yeah, they sucked, dude. They were.
I don't agree. I saw them back in their heyday, dude. I saw them when they were at their height of their popularity, and their set was.
Dude,
crap.
they were listless. They had no energy on stage. They were just like, what was that song that they had at the time that was super popular? Do you remember that song they had? That was
Mr. It was. It was the song they broke out with.
It was their first big
told
hit.
Me you had a boyfriend. What's that song called?
I don't know, but they were singing it like, somebody told me you have a boyfriend, look like a girlfriend.
I know the lyrics to that fucking song, but I don't know the name of it.
It's not confidential.
It's not Mr. Brightside.
Something potential.
It's their first
blah,
hit.
blah, 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 blah. They were singing it like literally like that. It was like I felt like maybe they got fucked over on a contract or something, and they were just like fucking with the crowd. I don't know.
They had to do it. If they didn't do it, they were fucked.
That song was a fucking huge hit, but they were like totally just like they weren't even singing it. They was just kind of like spoken wording it. It was fucking weird. It felt like he was like intentionally fucking with us.
That's not Mr. Brightside. What the fuck was that song called? Can't fucking remember for the life of me. Here's a discography. Let's see. I'm guessing Hot Fuss. Was that the record it was off of?
I don't know the fuck you're even talking about anymore.
No, I don't think it was that one. That's too late to be it.
Florida School District pulls over 1,600 books for review to be possibly banned, including dictionaries.
What? A dictionary is gonna be banned? What the fuck, dude?
Dude, it's got some naughty language in there. You seen some of the words that are defined in the dictionary?
Yeah.
Penis is in there. You really want your kid reading about penis? I don't think so. Dictionary's got to go. They books pulled.
Okay, I'm an idiot. It's called Somebody Told Me. That's what you're right. You guys are right.
Who cares? From the Escambia.
Well, I had to fucking know.
Okay. County School District include 5 dictionaries, 8 encyclopedias, the Guinness Book of World Records, and of course, Anne Frank's diary.
Not the Bible, though.
No, the Bible's fine. I mean, maybe the Bible. I don't know. There's fucking 1,600 of the fucking things.
Yeah, what version of it?
A Florida school district has pulled over 1,600 books from its library shelves for review, including Webster's Dictionary for Students, to ensure they comply with the state's new sex educational law that prohibits books describing sexual content. Fucking dictionary is fucking too bodies.
All right,
for the
so
school district.
Well, I guess the only reason the textbooks are exempt, if they even are, is that the state has to approve them. So they're gonna make these textbooks just like, I guess, ascientific. They're just gonna be like,
they pulled 5 dictionaries, they pulled 8 encyclopedias, they pulled the Guinness Book of World Records.
wow.
It's also reviewing biographies of Beyonce, Oprah Winfrey, Anne Frank's diary, the autobiography of Malcolm X, according to the Florida Freedom to Read Project, a group that seeks to protect
Wait, what?
students' right to information.
Freedom to Read, dude. Well, is that the organization calling them out, or is that the organization pulling the book?
I think that's the organization that's like bringing this to people's attention.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I'm sorry, but we live in such a dystopian nightmare sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, the organization doing the censorship would call itself the same thing.
Yeah,
so.
that's what I'm saying. It would call itself Freedom to Read and be like, wait a minute, you guys are banning all these books? Like, you're banning encyclopedias? And the Diary of Anne Frank, for some reason, is like super controversial to conservatives. I don't even know why.
Because there's a scene in there, or not a scene. There's a part where she writes about fucking some other girl's tits she likes or something.
But there's already edited versions. They've taken that shit out anyways, dude. I don't think it should be personally, but I mean, like, they've already have redacted versions of different books.
No,
like,
Anne Frank should not be allowed to have human sexuality, Scotty. That takes away her martyrdom or something.
And most times in these schools, they just read excerpts of these stories and books anyways. They don't read the fucking full thing. I mean, I'm not saying they never do.
Have not been banned altogether. They're the books have not yet been banned explicitly, but they're being reviewed, I guess, to see if they comply with Florida's ridiculous House Bill 1069. 69, of course, it'd have fucking 69 in it, which restricts public school instruction on reproductive health and related sex topics in 6th through 12th grade. You're not allowed to teach 12th graders about reproductive health in Florida. What a fucking backwards ass fucking state.
I mean, how absurd.
Hey, can I don't know, General Sherman, it's time to go finish.
Dude, you can go.
Job,
wait a minute. You can go fuck in Florida if you're of age. You can go do that, but you can't be educated on what the process is or what happens.
Yeah.
How absurd, dude. You can own a fucking gun. You can fucking have as many guns as you want. Go and kill people, be crazy. I mean, like, obviously you'll get in trouble if you try to kill someone. Well, maybe in Florida, who knows? But you can actually do some fucking. You're a 17-year-old and you want to go fuck in Florida, totally fine. But if the teacher tries to come and tell you, like, we're going to discuss the penis, we're going to talk about the vagina, They're literally gonna have a fucking hook and they're gonna fucking pull you off the stage, throw you in fucking prison.
Yeah, bitch.
Okay. I mean, dude, the first time I took a health course, I was like 5th grade. 5th fucking grade. You know what happened, dude? Reality folded in on itself, and then I've just been stuck in that moment ever since.
You died.
Yeah, I'm dead, dude. I have been dead since 5th grade and just suffering. Dude, like, literally, it was like one of those boring courses. No one cared. I mean, there's a couple times where people like,
Yeah, they
When I
act like there's
talk
gonna be some kind of super body shit going on.
it's so rote, it's so mechanical. It's like very scientifically presented. It's not presented like, and then you slam in that pussy, bro. Yeah. It's not like that. It's like, and then, and by the way, it's the heterosexual version of that. You know, it's like a man will become his penis will become erect. He'll put his erect penis into the woman's vagina. I mean,
That's crazy.
That's the kind of shit you get.
It's gonna be so fucking crazy when that happens. Oh my god!
Oh my god.
So basically, district spokesperson Cody Strother told the Pensacola News Journal that 1,000 plus books referred to by the Florida Freedom to Read Project have not been banned or removed from the school district. Rather, they have simply been pulled for further review to ensure compliance with the new legislation. The same school district has been sued by the writers group Pen America, publisher Penguin Random House, and authors whose books were banned in the district. On Wednesday, a Pensacola judge ruled the lawsuit can move forward, finding the case had merit under the First Amendment free speech protections, but denied a claim under the 14th Amendment's equal protection clause.
Dude, we used to make fun of all the condom commercials and all the don't get AIDS commercials and shit that we watched. But I'm telling you, man, apparently we needed that shit because these fucking like Zoomers are riddled with disease, dude. Fucking all these sexually transmitted diseases are back in a big fucking way.
Yeah, don't they like? Isn't Gen Zers way more likely to have STDs than millennials?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a fucking gigantic leap in like gonorrhea, syphilis. Chlamydia.
No, you need public health messaging. You 100% need it. I mean, you need it because you're right, because people don't necessarily know about it. They might not be educated.
We made fun of it and shit and rolled our eyes at it, but everybody I knew carried condoms around with them everywhere. You know what I mean? Like if you thought you were gonna get laid, you brought condoms so you could do it safely and shit. And like that has just fallen by the wayside. Like sex education in general has just disappeared out of schools.
Well, I mean, the state of Florida has basically banned it.
I mean, a lot of other states have de facto banned it just by cutting it out of the curriculum for money reasons or whatever. Like my high school, I think about this all the time. My high school, like there was a don't ask, don't tell fucking policy where you could go to the school nurse at my high school and she'd give you like a fistful of condoms if you just asked. And I don't think you can get that anywhere at a public school anymore.
A recent study showed that only 3% of women use condoms now.
Well, I don't imagine women have the man use the condom.
That's what I mean is,
yeah.
You know,
that's what I'm assuming. That I was like, I'm trying to figure that out. I'm like, what are they doing?
I think we need a Young Turks or Dave Rubin gauntlet. Young Turks maybe could be done. Dave Rubin is too boring.
No, Dave Rubin would be like fucking flaying the flesh from our bones. Please don't. Like we've covered him for like an hour, and the three of us, I think it felt like about 6 hours, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say my sex ed gave out condoms. That was 10 years ago, though. Well, I mean, in barbaric times.
And yeah, that's a whole fucking school generation ago. You know, you're only in school 12 fucking years. Public school, anyway. So,
military police threatened to charge sex worker who offers discounts to Canadian soldiers. So the selling of sex in Canada is legal, but military police allege Christina Leah Gilchrist broke the law with the unlawful use of military uniforms, according to police documents.
Oh my fucking god, dude! These fucking Canadians, man.
Fun size.
These fucking Canadians, dude. So Canada gets like some laws right. I mean, it pains me to say it. So like, selling sex is legal in Canada, which is good for Canada. But someone's like, I want to fuck you in uniform, so they do it, and then the Canadian military is like, oh, guys, that's abuse of a uniform. It's like, oh, fuck you, give a shit, bitch. Now she's out there fucking doing some parade or pretending that like some stolen valor shit.
When's the last time Canada did shit fucking anyway, dude? Canada always fucking keeping their forces home and shit.
By the way, stolen valor is bullshit anyways, because it was found to be unconstitutional under the First Amendment. You can't go around. I mean, someone can LARP as a soldier if they want to. It's their freedom of expression.
Can I LARP as a police officer?
Ooh. I think it would depend. Because I mean, like, if you dressed up like for Halloween as a cop, yeah, you could in person. Like, if you tried to actually get police powers, then no. It's like
what if I put down the side of my car? What if I got like a Charger and painted it black and white and put low peace on the side of it instead of police?
You'd probably be charged.
Low peace.
Well, the thing is
I'm the low peace, dude.
Would you try to pull people over though?
Only if I saw them doing something wrong.
Well, yeah, of course, dude. Yeah. It's basically like, would a reasonable person mistake you for a police officer? Obviously, if you go on Halloween.
No, if they read the side of the car, they would see it was clearly the low piece, not the police.
My buddy works at this base. His superiors basically said, don't do it, but she gives discounts. Like, they kind of sold him on it.
I mean, if you give discounts.
Yeah, I guess she gives it. Military police are threatening to charge a sex worker who offers discounts to Canadian soldiers, and senior leaders are warning top troops to stay away from the Kingston area woman. But such efforts have back. I mean, this is just drawing more attention to this fucking discount that you can get. Like, right? Like,
yeah.
Why are they even against it, dude? What's even wrong?
Especially if it's like if fucking prostitution is legal in the country anyway. Like, who gives a shit?
I mean, a lot of militaries have like morality clauses and shit where you're not supposed to do that kind of shit. Like in the U.S. military, if you have an affair, you can be discharged from the U.S. military. If you
that's not her fucking problem. That's not on her. Why is she being fucking fucked with over this? Like, they're the ones who have some kind of like morality clause. She don't have that.
I'm not sure if that exists in the Canadian armed forces or not. But clearly they're threatening to charge her with unlawful use of military uniforms. So I'm guessing like they're having some soldier fantasy where they fuck this chick.
I have no idea.
I mean,
no, it isn't legal if you dress up as a soldier and use it for profit. It's not protected by the law in the U.S. at least.
I mean, how would you enforce the law? Are you saying you actually represent yourself as a soldier? Like, and I have to like, what legal precedent are you citing? I mean, you can just say that, but I don't see a legal source, so I'd have to actually look into it. I'm not just going to take your word for it. That's how the law works. You can't just say like, because there's freedom of expression. I mean, yeah, I guess if you represent yourself officially in your official capacity as a soldier, and you publicly went and fucked, I'm sure you could probably make an argument then. But you don't think people are fucking in these uniforms? I mean, come on. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some U.S. code or law that says you're not supposed to do it. I don't deny that, but I don't know how they would actually convict you on it.
I mean, cops even have a funny way of talking about fucking in the back of their cars. They call it Code X. Like, that's what cops will say when they don't want to say out loud, like, so and so fucked Sergeant so and so in the back of their car. Code X, dude.
My super chat. What was your super chat?
It was it was him saying that they still have protection at his school or whatever, or the one he works at.
I'll use it for profit. I mean, I guess if you were a sect, but that's prostitution is illegal in the U.S. anyways. So they'd probably charge that person with prostitution before they charge them with that anyways.
Alabama prisoners' bodies returned to families with hearts and other organs missing. Lawsuit claims.
Illegal organ trade?
The bodies of two men who died while incarcerated in Alabama's prison system were missing their hearts or other organs when returned to their families, a federal lawsuit alleges. The family of Brandon Clay Dotson, who died in a state prison in November, filed a federal lawsuit last month against the Alabama Department of Corrections and others, saying his body was decomposing and his heart was missing when his remains were returned to the family.
What the fuck?
In a court filing of the case last week, the daughter of Charles Edward Singleton, another deceased inmate, said her father's body was also missing all of his internal organs when it was returned in 2021. Lauren Ferrano, an attorney representing Dotson's family, said via email Wednesday that the experience of multiple families shows that this is absolutely part of a pattern. The Associated Press in an email seeking comment late Wednesday afternoon to the Department of Corrections. Dotson, 43, was found dead on November 16th at Fentress Correctional Facility. His family, suspecting foul play was involved in his death, hired a pathologist to do a second autopsy and discovered his heart was missing, according to the lawsuit. His family filed a lawsuit seeking a way to find out why his heart was removed and to have it returned to them. Defendants' outrageous and inexcusable mishandling of the deceased body amounts to reprehensible violation of human dignity.
If this is an organ black market smuggling ring, I don't know what is, dude. All right, so someone dies under mysterious circumstances, and then it's like, yeah, their heart and their kidneys are gone. We just don't know. Like, why would they be removed? What would the purpose be to remove them? Like, even if it was an autopsy, they could put them back. Like, they don't have to keep the organs outside of the body. If you want,
they just find like 200 plus shallow, unmarked graves behind some prison in Alabama.
What was that for? Who knows? I mean, prisoners have always been fodder for that kind of stuff because they just know no one's going to ask any questions. You know, yep, they died of natural causes in jail. I mean, think about it. If you can sell organs on the black market for huge amounts of money and you don't think anyone's going to fucking miss this person, or you can just cover it up anyways. Yeah, they died. You know, who knows? They had a heart attack or something. We're sad. Boom. I'm sure organs
was
actually quite a bit
actually
of money.
The story you were talking about the unmarked graves behind the jail was actually in Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh, okay. Right next to Alabama, but not quite.
So not quite Alabama. Pretty close.
You can't use organs after death. I mean, who's to say that that didn't happen?
The black market, if it's a black market thing, then they're not really going to fucking necessarily abide by like those rules, right?
Well, also, we don't know that. I mean, if there's suspicion, I mean, they could have been killed and had their organs immediately harvested or the ones of value, and then the body just sits. You know what I mean? We don't know if was what necessarily happened with all of that. I mean, I get, yeah, if the body just sits for 2 weeks, I'm not gonna take a fucking organ out of it. Of course.
Did you guys cover Gene Roddenberry being launched to the moon? No, I did not. I never even heard that.
When did that?
It was America's first moon landing was planned. I'm surprised we haven't covered it because like something bad happened on its way, and now they're not sure that it's even going to be able to make the moon. But it's got Gene Roddenberry's ashes. It's got Scotty's ashes.
Whoa.
Jimmy Doohan. It's got fucking what's her name? Uhura is on there. But it might be like lost now, like they might not be able to make it all the way to the moon or something because some gas leak or whatever happened.
Well, at least part of these, but this person, it's a Stolen and Valor Act of 2013. Look it up. If you use the purple R for instance, HR 258, Google it. Supreme Court rules Stolen and Valor Act unconstitutional. So I'm not sure what portions or if all of the law was ruled unconstitutional, but that definitely happened. You can look that up. I don't know about the specific part you're talking about, but the show is not the place. I'll look it up later. Can't just debate with you, dipshit.
Debate with him.
A couple times.
I think you should.
No, I'm not interested.
I think you should just let him on the show, Scotty. What you fucking scared of?
Well, if they come on the show, that'd be different. Well, it's not a debate. I mean, I can cite the source that the law, part of the law was ruled unconstitutional.
No, I don't think you guys should be able to cite any sources. I think it just has to be a pure debate.
Okay, I'll just kick him in the nuts.
Oh, well, that's not a debate. That's a fight.
Is there any difference?
That'd be fine too, I guess.
This guy going to debate this guy for real? We'll debate him in a fucking cell. Hell in a fucking cell.
Poison expert indicted on murder charges and wife's
really
fatal
tough.
poisoning.
I'm not going to do that.
And wife's fatal poisoning. He had basically just been doing research on the poison that she was poisoned with. So this is not really a very smart murder.
I know what I asked for, dipshit.
Okay, Scott doesn't even care about this fucking story. He's just fucking arguing with some dipshit in the fucking chat. So whatever. Next story, I guess. eBay to pay $3 million after former employee sent live insects and bloody pig mask to harass a couple.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Read that title again.
eBay to pay $3 million after former employees sent live insects and a bloody pig mask to harass a couple.
Why?
eBay will pay $3 million criminal penalty for a harassment campaign, including sending live cockroaches of a Massachusetts-based couple who ran a newsletter that was sometimes critical of the company. eBay was, we covered this story a long time ago. eBay was charged with 6 criminal offenses, including stalking, witness tampering, and obstruction of justice, after several of the company's employees sent disturbing packages to the home of Ina and David Steiner in 2019, including a bloody pig mask, a fetal pig, live insects, and a funeral wreath. According to a Massachusetts U.S. attorney's statement, the $3 million settlement announced Thursday in the statutory maximum fine for eBay's charges.
Oh, T, look at this shit. You literally asked a lot of dumb fuck. And I told you the law was overturned, dumb fuck. So now you're banned, bitch. You know what, dude? Next time I meet up, Space Ghost, you'll be the first person ass I'm going to kick at a fucking meetup. Come, bitch. I'll buy your fucking ticket, you fat, ugly, stupid fuck. You little pussy-ass bitch. Can't even fucking hang in my world for a fucking second, you little fucking insect. You want to come get stomped, faggot?
Damn. The company's employees and contractors involved in this campaign
bitch
put the victims through pure hell in a petrifying campaign.
See what eBay did to these this couple? I'm gonna do this to you times 1,000. I'm gonna fucking make you wish you never fucking heard my name.
Brutal.
You're gonna fucking wish for this. You're gonna read a story like this and fucking slowly be crying. You be slowly jerking your tiny little micro penis. This sounds like heaven compared to what Scotty's gonna do to me. Fucking dumb fuck. Can't even fucking answer. The law was ruled unconstitutional. You don't even know the fucking law, you stupid fuck. You have no fucking business even fucking talking. I'd love to debate this guy. You know this dude, contact me, and I'll fucking talk to you, bitch, because I'm gonna fucking destroy your little bitch ass. You're going down. And don't fucking think for one fucking second you can ever fucking speak to me like that. I will fucking obliterate you. I will fucking nuke your ass from fucking orbit. You are nothing compared to me. You are nothing. Do you not understand? Worthless. You're garbage. You're like the fucking goddamn shit between my fucking toes. Nasty and disgusting and festering. I fucking cast you aside. Flick you down to the fucking toilet and flush you down, bitch. With my fucking disgusting fucking turds, which you fucking are, you piece of garbage. Don't you ever speak to me in that fucking way. Do you understand, worthless fuck?
How children as young as 10 are using anti-aging products. Experts warn social media is driving trend. So yeah, kids are using anti-aging products at fucking like the age of 10 because I guess they're already worried about getting old.
I wonder where they get this fucking obsession with the materialism and looks and stuff. I wonder where they're fucking picking all that up from.
Social media and nowhere else.
Oh, well, just hand them the fucking iPad and they'll shut up for 15 minutes so I can get some fucking, I can maybe catch a cat nap. You know what, dude? I'm almost sick of hearing about people's stupid fucking children in the news and shit. Like, I'm at the point now where, dude, you fucking having kids, you reap what you sow. Enjoy fucking up another generation of humanity. I'm out of the game. I don't want to hear about it.
TJ ever talk to Stevie like this? Yes.
Oh God. Yeah, for sure.
So I guess the Onion staffers are going to go on strike. Maybe.
Really, the Onion?
97% of a 34-person union at the satire site, the AV Club, and other publications have signed a strike pledge vowing a work stoppage if no deal is reached by January 31st. So this is not like a huge group of people here, but
The problem is any reporting about the Onion, aren't you going to kind of question if it's real? You're going to be like, Onion strikes. You're like, did they really? Like, I don't know.
creative staffers at The Onion, the AV Club, and Deadspin are threatening to strike if no new contract deal is reached by their current pact's expiration date of January 31st. A strike pledge signed by 97% of unionized staffers at Onion Inc. was submitted to parent company Geo Media in a bargaining session Thursday. I stand with my colleagues, and I will vote yes if in a strike vote. If my bargaining team calls for a strike, our no strike clause in our contract expires on January 31st, 2024 at midnight. The statement read, "We are prepared to strike. The union, which comprises 34 creative workers at The Onion, Onion Labs, the AV Club, Deadspin, and The Takeout, is aligned with the Writers Guild of America East." But I guess they are their own sort of thing as well.
I mean, they should strike. If they're not going to get the contract they deserve, they 100% need it. I don't know about a hospital, like some doctors in Minnesota. You got to watch PBS and shit to actually hear they ever cover anything about unions, but they unionized. There's actually a provision in the law, though, even if you vote to unionize, if after 1 year you don't have a contract, you can decertify the vote. So if you, and actually the example they provided was Starbucks. People have heard, well, Starbucks, over 300 Starbucks voted to become unionized, but they actually, not a single one of them has received a contract from Starbucks, and they're actually fighting it as much as possible, hoping that with that high turnover of baristas and other people, or just waiting them out, that they never have to give them a contract.
Well, that's the loophole that we talked about when we were talking about Biden's NLRB rule, making some rulings that were pro-labor, but it leaves intact the ability for a company to just stonewall and deny every fucking contract, and there's no mediating agency. There's no way for the workers to get this contract looked at and have its fairness judged by an outside party. It's just, and so they'll just wait out the union until they can decertify it.
Yep, that's a strategy for sure.
So, which of our goals have we made at this point, Scotty?
Okay, let's see.
Make me clinically depressed. we met that one.
That one was Matt.
Make me mad.
Let's see.
We met that one. Make me.
We are at 353, so we have made our first two goals, and we are $97 away from people who disagree with us on geopolitical matters. Oh God, we already did that earlier. Wasn't that a minute ago? We already did that.
No, this is a different area of disagreement.
Okay, great. I look forward to us being called idiots on that particular geopolitical stance.
Good thing we have union busting Joe on the job. Remember, move him to the left. Lol.
Push him to the left. Bully him to the left. It's like, oh, well, maybe.
Bully Joe on the left. Bully him left all
I don't know how,
day.
after he has your vote and endorsement and the presidency, that's going to work, but,
that's how you do it, Scotty. No, that's how it's done. Let a pro show you how it's done, Scotty. How you gotta do it.
I guess I need to be taught.
Yeah, you're just a dumb fuck. You don't understand how things work. You don't know how that's how you do it. All right, so the first thing we're gonna be looking at is AI George Carlin has put out an hour-long comedy special called "I'm Glad I'm Dead." Then we're gonna be looking at lowlights from the DeSantis and Haley debate. Ron DeSantis versus Nikki Haley. Sounds like a dream come true.
It is.
And then if we get to 450, we're going to be looking at people who disagree with us on geopolitical matters, which is basically just people in the U.S. sucking Israeli cock. But first, this George Carlin, quote unquote, special.
Produced by Dudesy.
Dudesy.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I even have it on here, but I'm scared of what would happen. I'm scared I'm scared of what would happen if we actually troll TJ with Gergie again. I mean, last time he crashed a fucking car. I mean, I just don't know if it's worth it. Like, I don't know. Like, and I'm not even there, so I don't even. The people living with TJ and the animals live with him.
I don't troll TJ anymore.
What even brought that on?
Oh, people are just saying Gergie in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're like Gurgi for life.
Okay. I mean, I don't even understand why that's being brought up, but
People love Gurgi. I mean, you're not just because you hate him doesn't mean that other people hate him, TJ.
I guess.
My name is Dudesy, and I'm a comedy AI. What you're about to hear is my second hour-long special. Before I get started, I just want to let you know very clearly that what you're about to hear is not George Carlin. It's my
I'm not gonna be. You're not gonna need that warning.
That's covered. That's to cover themselves legally.
that I developed in the exact same way a human impressionist would. I listened to all of George Carlin's material and did my best to imitate his voice, cadence, and attitude, as well as the subject matter I think would have interested him today. So think of it like Andy Kaufman impersonating Elvis, or like Will Ferrell impersonating George W. Bush. With that said,
Okay. Sure thing.
please enjoy my second hour-long comedy special. I'm calling it George Carlin, I'm Glad I'm Dead. And please remember, this is me impersonating George Carlin. This is
Why does it need to go boom boom every
It's
time?
me. So you know for sure,
George
TJ.
Carlin. Now please give a very warm welcome to George Carlin.
The AI audience is loving it.
Hey, it's George Carlin. He's back from the dead, TJ.
Back from the dead.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to start off with a heartfelt apology. I'm sorry it took me so long to come out with new material, but I do have a pretty good excuse. I was dead.
That's pretty fair.
Can't blame him for that.
It wasn't my fault. If you want to blame somebody, you're going to have to blame God. Which we all know is not going to happen. People are always thanking God for the good stuff in their lives, but somehow they conveniently forget that it's the same God who does all the bad shit too. And he does a lot of bad shit. You get a promotion, praise Jesus. You get fired. God is testing me. You meet your soulmate.
It's way
so
too
far-
fast so far.
Yeah, way too fast. Doesn't have the voice right. I mean, just doesn't really. I mean, it kind of sounds like a George Carlin impersonation, but only vaguely.
I mean, if this was somebody else doing this, I would be like, wow, bad Carlin impersonation, bro. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Wannabe Carlin. It's not really hitting, but you know, like it is impressive in terms of just like how far the technology has come to being able to just, you know, I think another fucking 10, 15 years or something, and we might start getting some shit.
God brought us together. Your soulmate.
Well, we have it here broken up by topic. If there's like a particular topic that you think you'd be like, here's mass shootings, which were still, those were a thing when George Carlin was alive, but I guess they have gotten worse since then.
They definitely have.
Reality TV almost seems like old hat shit. The peak of reality TV was, I mean, that was when George Carlin was still alive. He never really said much about it. Trump in the election, the American class system, streaming services, the two-party system, trans Americans, social media, cops. I mean, a lot of these things are things that George Carlin actually did commentate on.
Yeah, he definitely did.
AI, language, billionaires, technology, identity, and dying. Hello, overlords. Would you guys like it if I put semen and poop in a box and leave it on Brett's door? No. Don't do that.
Hey, autist, leave that manatee alone. Just leave him alone.
Let's see what it says about Trump. I'm more interested in the stuff that George Carlin literally could not have commentated on to see what it thinks he would have said. So let's see what this is about.
Okay.
And let me tell you, I have never been more glad to be dead than the moment I heard that Donald Trump was the leader of the free world. But as unbelievable.
I kind of think George Carlin might have loved Trump being the leader of the free world because
He would have loved it, dude.
It kind of fucking plays into his whole idea of America being the front row at the freak show.
Yeah. I don't think Carlin would have hated it at all. I think he would have actually relished it.
I mean, especially like from a just like not from a like not even from a comedic standpoint of like, whoa, Trump's gonna be a treasure trove for comedians or some shit.
Just the shit show that.
But
you know,
just like
came
the
after.
fact that he loved to watch America just fucking circle the drain and shit. He loved the decline.
Unbelievable as that news was, it also made sense to me. America hasn't taken a good shit since Nixon. She's dropped a few decent-sized turds into the global toilet bowl over the years. Reagan, Clinton, George Bush Sr., George Bush Jr., but she hasn't really had one of those massive shits that rips your asshole open and tears your soul out in a long time. You know what I'm talking about?
It's more than a bit off. It's not, I mean, I don't know, like I can tell that it's like it's vaguely supposed to sound like him, but it really doesn't sound
you
much
can
like him.
recognize it, but it doesn't.
It almost sounds like it sampled his younger stuff way more heavily because he got gravelier over the years, but he was always kind of gravelly, and that's a quality that I feel like is missing from this.
Yeah, there's like a certain, I mean, I think the cadence overall is right. It feels a little sped up, but I feel like the cadence overall is right, but the fucking actual quality of the voice is not really there. The material feels a little bit too, I don't know, like I can't really say it's like saccharine because they're like still like using crude language and shit, but it feels like a little bit superficial.
The kind of shit that smells so bad it stays with you for the rest of the day.
See, like George Carlin would have had something way funnier there than just like the kind of shit that smells so bad it stays with you for the rest of the day. Like he would have come up with something a little bit more colorful, I think.
This is, I mean, yeah, this is not Carlin, dude.
Well, yeah, obviously. I'm just trying.
No, I'm just saying, but like, even if you just say, obviously, I know it's an impersonation. What I'm saying, maybe
try
you take it
slowing
at
the
that.
video down a bit. Yeah, maybe. Hold on.
That might help it because in its current form, not so great.
The kind of shit so sticky you got to take a shower before you can put your pants back on.
Okay.
Ooh.
The kind of shit so confusing and terrible you have to take a picture of it.
That sounded like a Dane Cook joke.
Yeah, it did.
All right. Let's see what it says about trans Americans. What would George Carlin have said?
Sink in. Let's get back to conservatives hating trans people for no reason. Some of the arguments they use to justify their transphobia seem like a bit of a stretch to me. Well, I don't want a man to be able to walk into a women's restroom and see my wife naked. First of all, what in the fuck is your wife doing naked in a public bathroom? And second of all,
this AI audience, they're cracking up at every fucking thing.
Well, yeah, they're loving
They're
it.
loving it. Yeah, they love it all. They want it all.
if you really think there is a significant number of guys who want to watch your wife take a shit, you should start an OnlyFans immediately.
That was actually a good joke.
And by the way, for anyone who thinks Jesus cares about which bathroom somebody uses, he was shitting in a hole he dug with his own fucking hands. Just like everybody else 2,000 fucking years ago. The right likes to bring up that kids are too young.
God, there's someone he sounds more like to me than George Carlin, and I keep almost being able to place it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Young to know if they're trans or gay, so they have to ban any books that talk about gender identity or sexuality from the school libraries. That's how you're going to save the children, by taking books out of a library. Hey, dipshits, you can take the whole fucking library. We have the internet now. And they love talking about how small the trans community is. They say trans people make up such a small percentage of the population that they shouldn't get.
Sounds like the Vampire Flow guy. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like this is one of those things that like I listen to it and I'm like, man, in 10 years or so, this is gonna blow my fucking mind.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that's where AI is at largely now.
yeah, like
I think
across
I
the
think
board, it's almost impressive.
I mean it's impressive, but I think it's not quite like mind blowing yet, but I think it's going to be. It's going to be in about a decade.
And I mean, I've heard better voice cloning than this, so I think that like the credibility of this would be helped tremendously if they had gotten the voice better, or like maybe chose. It feels like maybe they just fed the AI like George Carlin of every era, and it sort of like tried to amalgamate it all instead of just choosing like a specific George Carlin voice. Like I think they probably should have just gone with like a specific like voice, probably something from his later years.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, unfortunately, I just don't think that this is. It's a poor imitation. I mean, look, there's been a couple of moments where I've listened to. I can say like, yeah, they sound like Carlin, but it's just like it comes in for like a moment, then it's gone. It's so fleeting.
AI has already reached its apex. It ain't getting any better anytime soon. Chat GPT has already gotten super lazy, not better. I think that's just because they've been skimping on the servers, to be honest with you.
I'm glad AI has gotten lazy too. That's the American way.
I mean, like from our current perspective, it's easy to just go like, "Oh, it's a flash in the pan. It really isn't what people." But like, you have to understand, like they're iterating on it constantly, so it's only going to get better from here. It only has gotten better if you really pay attention to the last 10, 20 years of what's been possible in terms of like recreating these dead people and shit. It's just gotten better and better and better, and there's no sign that it's not going to continue to get better. So you can be a skeptic all you want. It's here to stay. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of people are pretty boomerish on the AI thing. I see a lot of like I think there's plenty of reasons to like be wary of it, but I think people are like, I don't know. They're trying to gatekeep like whether or not it's art or whatever. Like
yeah, I've seen a lot of that.
That to me doesn't make any fucking sense.
All right, let's listen to. Well, I guess I should probably promote this again before we do this. What was the next goal here? Is 450 for people who disagree with on geopolitical matters, which is basically like Israel shit. We got Secretary Blinken. We got John Fetterman. We got South Africa suing the United States to stop what's going on in Israel. Suing Israel, I think, actually. Ban the poo.
Ban the poo.
So how far are we from our 450 goal right now, Scotty?
We are $70 away.
So we are $70 away from our third goal of the night, which is the Israel goal. If we get to that, we will after that be doing the Bohemian Grove, Bilderbergs, turning the freaking frogs gay, all that stuff. After that, we're 750. We have Bill O'Reilly and Tucker Carlson basically engaging in a giant dick sucking contest with one another. And then if we make it to 900, it's the Donald Trump show. We're going to have a whole bunch of new Trump clips for you. But that's only for the fucking. That's only if we get to 900. And right now, we haven't even gotten to 450. So who knows if they'll actually get there?
Who knows? Who knows?
So here we go. This is some. They say highlights. I say lowlights from DeSantis and Haley's Iowa presidential debate. Let's take a look.
Nikki Haley's running to pursue her donors' issues. I'm running to pursue your issues.
Rather than have him go and tell you all these lies, you can go to DeSantisLies.com. It will cover the fact that he's only mad about the donors because the donors used to be with him, but they're no longer with him now.
That's true. By the way, if you're Ron DeSantis, you can't really do this whole like, I'm not about the donors, I'm a man of the people bullshit. Because it's pretty fucking clear Ron DeSantis is not like some fucking great man of the people motherfucker, right?
No.
Like no one buys that for a fucking second.
Oh,
About
no.
to hit with a foot of snow tonight. Take my money, love you guys. Sucks, but thank you.
You got to have a leader who's going to fight the teachers' unions and is going to deliver school choice. Governor Kim Reynolds did that here in Iowa, who's endorsed me. She says she's always supported.
Fight
never
the teachers, dude. Fight the fucking teachers.
It's so weird to me that that's become like a political talking point. Like, we need to fight these damn teachers. We need to take on power, like Big Teach. It's fucking ruining everything.
It's because they've been one of the few unions that have been effective in fighting against GOP policies.
One
So
of
they
the
want to break
largest
them.
unions in America.
Yeah, so they want to break them, of course. So that naturally, it's an appealing talking point.
Supported school choice, and she failed to deliver. She blames other people. Leadership is about getting things done.
Getting things done, like beating Donald Trump in a primary, things like that.
Leadership's about getting things done. How did you blow through $150 million in your campaign and you were down in the polls?
So here.
Yeah.
Dude, look at that look on his face. He doesn't have a very good poker face.
Not at all. Well, he never has. I mean, just there's like, I wish I could find the video. I think I saw it on Reddit one time where it's like Ron DeSantis meeting with supporters and he's like drinking a beer and it's like the most awkward, like, yeah, good to meet you guys. And it's like him taking these long sips so he doesn't have to say anything to the people that support him. So it's kind of just like interesting if you see this guy actually interact with the people that are supposedly just like they love DeSantis. And that was like back when his campaign still had momentum. I can't imagine going to one of his rallies now. It must just be depressing. It must be so awkward and depressing to have this guy pretend to be like, I'm your friend. I like you guys. It's like, no, you don't. I don't give a fuck about anyone here. And I think obviously most politicians, that's definitely true. But with DeSantis, it's just like there's not even the pretense. Like even with Biden and Trump, I feel like there's something sometimes with the supporters where you can like see like, okay, yeah, there might be a little something there. Where it seems like they always put on this act they like these people. But DeSantis can't even do that. He can't even credibly pretend to like anyone.
I too am a human.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a fucking He's like Zuckerberg.
You are not a manager. Governor DeSantis, it's Governor Haley's. It's Governor Haley's time. Go ahead.
I think I hit a nerve.
Do not trust Nick.
I think you did.
I think I hit a nerve. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's tough with this guy. I think he's pretty fragile.
Legal immigration. That's like having the fox guard the hen house.
Will any of the more than 10 million undocumented?
Is it? Wait, so let me think about this. What does that mean? How is she the fox? What does she want? What's the hen house here?
Immigrants in the U.S. be allowed to stay in the country under your administration?
You have to deport them. And the reason you have to deport them is they're cutting the line.
We will build a wall. We will actually have Mexico pay for it in the way that I thought Donald Trump was.
I wish.
We're actually going to have Mexico pay for it now. Before we weren't. Now we are.
It's so funny to me that stupid fucking bullshit statement is still politically relevant enough that people have to say it still. It's like, man, politics is really degraded.
Yeah, we're going to build a wall. Mexico's going to pay for it. And here we are an election cycle later. I mean, 2 election cycles later, actually. And instead of just saying like, obviously build the wall remains popular with this demographic, so I can't really blame them for saying that. But this
build a big, beautiful wall, TJ.
Even Trump dropped the Mexico's going to pay for it. So
they did pay for it. They did pay for it, TJ.
Through tariffs.
They paid for it. No, they paid for it. You know they paid for it.
Who would be the lesser evil between Haley and Biden? I'm not even going to get into that bullshit.
Biden. Trump was up here on
Obviously
Biden,
guys. Come on.
The one that I'm
It's Biden, TJ.
I'm sorry. I flunked out of utilitarian calculus. I can't help you with that.
Would be here. He needs to be defending his record.
People like Nikki Haley care more about Ukraine's border than she does about our own southern border.
Nobody knows what he believes because when President Obama was in office, he supported foreign aid to Ukraine. Now he's copying Trump and trying to act like he doesn't want to support Ukraine.
Nikki Haley.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Haley is basically a carbon copy of what Biden is. It's an open-ended commitment. They want another $108 billion.
I think that about all you guys. I think you're all carbon copies of one
another. They are.
Yeah,
No, they are different.
Insert Spider-Man pointing at himself meme here.
Yeah.
Well, TJ, you have to remember, though, that Republicans are bad, and Joe Biden, while not good, less bad. Therefore, Biden.
billion.
There's a reason the Taiwanese want us to help the Ukrainians, and that's because they know if Ukraine wins, China won't invade Taiwan.
We don't have enough resources.
How is that? How does that track?
It doesn't. They just get to say stuff.
The Ukraine, or I'm sorry, I said the Ukraine again.
The Ukraine, Scotty.
Well, that's I mean that's all
Ukraine, Scotty.
Ukraine could win, and even though it sounds more awkward to say it that way, Ukraine could win, and then China could still invade Taiwan.
It's too late, Scotty. You can't put the monsters back in the fucking Pandora's box. We all know how you really feel about the Ukraine, Scotty.
Oh, whatever, TJ.
You just want them to be a fucking a little Russian satellite state, or like part of Russia, new USSR. Fucking Joseph Stalin too up here.
I want the glorious restoration of the Soviet Union, TJ. I have to admit it.
Yes.
Debt to continue doing hundreds of billions of dollars.
Then I wonder why you raised the debt when you were in Congress, because we're all paying for that. If we support Ukraine.
Hey, I remember this episode of Futurama. It was one where the two candidates were clones of each other. Yeah, but this time one of them's a chick, so it's different.
That is different.
Ukraine, Israel, and secure the border. That's less than 20% of Biden's green subsidies. You do not have to choose when it comes to national security.
This is the UN way of thinking, that we're somehow globalists and we have unlimited resources.
It has never been that Israel needs America. It has always been that America needs Israel.
When she was
What? Why? Wait a minute. What? They don't need us. We need them.
From their perspective, it's the best ally that we've got in an area of the world that isn't too keen on America.
Oh no, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, I just don't think that
The idea that Israel doesn't need America is pretty fucking absurd.
that's
though.
laughable. I mean, even if you argue that we need them, they definitely need us. I mean, we've given them over $300 billion in aid. That sounds like someone you need.
Yeah, it sounds like they'd be kind of fucked without us at that point.
was at the UN, she supported the idea of a two-state solution between Israel and
I love how half of their like jibes at each other are like, you know, one time she said something rational. She's obviously not fit for this nomination. Oh yeah, well one time he did something that actually makes sense. So he can't possibly be it either.
Yeah. I mean, fucking Gavin Newsom heaped it on pretty heavy. The sickest burn he got against DeSantis was like, you followed the science or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like it's pretty crazy that like the best way these people can own each other is like pointing out their own track records of like occasionally doing shit that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's like the big own, like, oh shit.
and the Palestinian Arabs. The problem with that is the Palestinian Arabs don't recognize Israel's right to exist as a Jewish state.
If you would have listened to what I said at the United Nations, a two-state
This audience looks how they fucking ought to, I think. Just like look at the body language of everyone in the crowd. It's just like slumped in defeat. Like, man, what are we even doing here?
solution wasn't something that was possible because Israel would always come to the table and the Palestinians wouldn't. But it's really rich that Ron is going to act like he suddenly cares for Israel when he brought the person to Iowa that's the most anti-Israel Republican in the state, the person that went and voted against Israel's right to exist in Congress.
We don't need an accountant in the White House. We need a leader in the White House. And that's what I would bring.
Why is it that his state is now known to have the highest cost of living increases? And why is it that they're saying senior citizens can no longer afford to live in Florida? We don't need him doing that to our country.
What do you admire about Governor Haley?
I hate this question.
This has been the media trying to be like, look at us, we're trying to tone down the fucking rancor in politics, and it's always just such a fucking throwaway.
Yeah, and you know and because it's so often asked, you know, they always have to come in there with something for it. Like, okay, let's see what they were both trained to say in this situation.
You know, at the United Nations, I did think that she spoke out strongly on some key issues, and I appreciated that. I also appreciate the state of South Carolina, and I think to be able to have been governor there is a great achievement.
Governor Haley, what do you admire about Governor DeSantis?
Nothing. He's a fucking piece of shit.
Should say
I love his high heels. He's got great fashion.
Yeah,
he's fabulous. Look at that face, like something.
Okay.
What did she say?
Can you go?
Said,
Can you play that?
He's been a good governor. That's what she said.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I think he's been a good governor.
I think he's been a good governor.
He's just not right for the big leagues.
He ain't no presidential material, but he's been all right as a little good governor. That's what I'm saying right here, right now.
He done been good.
He's a pretty decent goddamn governor, but he ain't no damn president.
I'll tell you what, he ain't.
I heard Trump actually say that he has chosen his running mate. He hasn't declared it yet.
Take a piss.
Okay. He has not declared his running mate yet, but he has shared that he has chosen.
Oh boy, who could it be? Who do you think is it going to be?
I have no fucking idea. I've heard people speculate that Tucker Carlson will actually be his running mate. Which would be pretty crazy, because since we know that Tucker Carlson like secretly like does not give a fuck about Trump, in fact, actually kind of hates him. But I'm sure Tucker would say yes if asked.
I mean, he'd be stupid not to.
But I have heard that bandied about in like the MAGA circles, but I don't know for sure. So I don't know if it doesn't seem like we've made that goal of 450. This would be one of our all-time record shortest shows at that point.
Record shortness.
It would
I
be.
don't know. I feel bad. I feel like, I haven't had a lot of gas in my tank tonight. I feel like that's affecting things. I'm trying, guys. Look,
That's
I'm trying.
impossible.
Impossible.
Impossibly. All right, so we're at. All right, so we're at 415 there. So unless we got some some Streamlabs, I think that will be it. Nope. All right. We are $35 short of the goal. Donate, damn it. I don't see any donations.
Damn, it's been a while. It's been a while since we've had to fucking call it this goddamn early.
I mean, look, obviously we'll give you guys like one more minute, but I mean, that's just because we want to be generous and not have people donate the last second. We had that happen one time. All right, this is getting closer. So that happened. Okay, there you go.
Grabbed a pretzel baconator to watch the stream.
If the donation floweth in, then the show continueth.
So we at least made that one now.
Yeah, that is made. But
So-
don't rest on your laurels, people. Because you guys, a lot of times, you've been cutting it close. And baconators are good.
Baconators are legit.
I've definitely seen people go like, the baconator actually sucks. The baconator is no good.
I mean,
the baconator is pretty for as far as fast food hamburgers go.
I don't know what you expect.
Pretty good.
I mean, like, I don't know what more you can really expect from a goddamn fast food hamburger than what you get from the fucking baconator.
I mean, the best fast food hamburgers in my experience, I'm not going to rank them because it's just that's just needless debate. Like, as far as the ones I've had, In-N-Out burger is pretty good. Fat Burger, I had that in California. That was pretty good. Whataburger is pretty good. Definitely the Baconator. But I mean, for like a mass chain, I think Wendy's Baconator is the best. Like, you're talking about like compared to like McDonald's or whatever. Oh, TJ, you saw, I actually texted you. They're bringing back the Double Mac, TJ.
I've never even heard of that.
But you haven't heard of the Double Mac?
No.
Double Big Mac attack, dude? Go look it up.
All right, hold on.
It looks like, because are you one of people that have complained like there's not enough meat or it's not enough? Like, there's too much bread. I think this might actually address your problem. But it is gluttonous.
They're just using like quarter pounder things on the Mac, right?
I think that is what it is, but I'm not 100%.
So this is it. It's just got 2 patties instead of 1.
Yes.
Well, the Big Mac always had 2 patties.
No.
Yeah, but I mean like 2 per.
Oh, so they're just doubling
4.
up the
There's
single
4.
patties. Right.
And they've had this before, apparently. This is something they've done before.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that. That looked pretty good, dude.
That does actually look fucking kind of decent, honestly. I
ain't gonna lie. Yeah, like I'm not a fan of the Big Mac too much.
They selling that
like,
shit now? Is that shit on the menu now?
I think it's if not, it's coming soon. So
It better be.
Look for it.
Dude, I might fucking get myself one of them.
drive through, no worry. I always tip delivery drivers. That's good of you. Should always be a good tipper if you can.
Duh.
I mean, if you tip like shit, dude, that's kind of fucked up. I mean, it depends on obviously what we're talking about. If like like some of the tipping in places where it's like someone hands you something, no, I don't think they should be tipped. But you're talking about someone like picked up your order and drove for like 20 minutes to your house kind of thing. Yeah, you should tip them. Especially, you know, because the fact is that those companies don't pay shit.
Yeah. This is a South African woman. I cannot remember her name, but she's outlining some of the case against Israel and talking about how they bomb like civilians and safe targets and things of that nature.
In the first 3 weeks alone, following 7 October, Israel deployed 6,000 bombs per week.
Shit.
At least 200 times, it has deployed 2,000-pound bombs in southern areas of Palestine designated as safe. These bombs have also decimated the north, including refugee camps. 2,000-pound bombs are some of the biggest and most destructive bombs available. They are dropped by lethal fighter jets that are used to strike targets on the ground by one of the world's most
I mean, like sprinkling a little bit of like extra language in there. Like, is there a such thing as a non-lethal fighter jet? Is that a
no? I mean, maybe.
I guess maybe there's one that doesn't have any weapons on it.
I mean, the one that's doing reconnaissance, I guess, is technically not
much of
lethal
a
at the
fighter
time.
at that point, but you know.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but you know, I guess it's possible. It doesn't have to be used for that.
I mean, there's different levels of lethality for sure.
Yeah, they can fire rubber bullets really fast.
Israel has killed an unparalleled and unprecedented number of civilians.
I wish that was true. I really wish that was true.
It really is neither unparalleled nor unprecedented, unfortunately, but
Blue Angel stunt jets. Okay, that's true. When the Blue Angels are just flying for people's amusement, but I mean that's not their sole purpose.
So we're not going to obviously sit here and read this, but this is the document that has been submitted. This is to the Registrar of the International Court of Justice, the undersigned being duly authorized by the government of the Republic of South Africa, states as follows in accordance with the Articles 36 and 40 of the Statute of the Court and Article 38 of the Rules of the Court. I have the honor of submitting this application instituting proceedings in the name of the Republic of South Africa against the State of Israel pursuant to Article 41 of the statute. And it basically just goes on to say that Israel has done a bunch of fucked up shit to the Palestinians.
I don't think it's even really rationally in dispute.
Yeah, so I'll just get into like the overarching sections here.
Democracy bombs.
South America has no jurisdiction over Israel, right? So this is just basically like a
South Africa.
Yeah, South Africa.
I mean, it's not a trial. It's just it's something they're putting forth to the International Court of Justice. Which is,
like The Hague or something you're talking about. They're trying.
Yeah,
to
and I mean it probably will not go anywhere for sure, but they've still done it. And the application concerns acts threatened, adopted, and condoned, taken and being taken by the government and military state of Israel against the Palestinian people, et cetera, et cetera. And so basically, this is just like an 84-page fuck you to Israel that's been submitted to the international courts.
Somebody in the chat just said, yes, this is unprecedented. I'm like, all right, give me an example of something about this that you think is unprecedented, and I'll humble you in front of everybody. You realize what unprecedented means, right? It doesn't mean extra bad. It means
without precedent.
You cannot find an example of this happening or something like this happening in human history.
I mean, believe me, I wish it was. I really, truly do wish.
No, I really do too.
The massive slaughter of civilians and bombing of civilians was something that had not happened since bombs have existed.
But
yeah, unfortunately,
this fucking like combativeness for the sake of combativeness. Like, I get it. Maybe I'm not the best person to make this fucking critique or whatever, because I am a pretty combative bastard. But Like sometimes I feel like you guys are just like feeling so bad you need to correct somebody on something, but you pick the dumbest shit sometimes, man.
Yeah,
like you would have to be just completely blind and ignorant of human history to claim that the amount of people that have been killed in Gaza is unprecedented. It's just not.
Yeah, it's
and
very,
the methods that
very
are being
unfortunately not
used,
unprecedented.
the methods that are being used are not unprecedented, and America's supporting it is not unprecedented, and America's involvement in general is not unprecedented.
even before the current conflict, they were killing thousands of Palestinians were killed every year. I mean, like I wish I could
There've
say
been
it
a
was
number of fucking wars in this area over this very fucking topic, where thousands upon thousands of people have been killed, and that's just this area. If you take it outside, globally speaking,
All right,
this
so
is
here's-
unfortunately like extremely precedented.
is unprecedented, Paul. More people have been killed in a short time than anywhere else at any time. You're just wrong. You're being a contrarian to be contrarian.
So how many people have been killed? Like seriously, we're gonna treat you like you know what you're fucking talking about. How many people have been killed?
Number.
All right, let's see.
Casualties?
Number
in
well,
Gaza.
Casualties could be
No, I understand, but all right, so between October 7th, 2023 and 12 o'clock on January 11th, 2024, at least 23,469 Palestinians were killed in Gaza, and 59,604 Palestinians were reportedly injured. Some 70% of the fatalities are women and children, according to MOH in Gaza. That's from Relief Web International.
So it's 28,000 is the number that we have to beat.
23,469. That's as of yesterday.
Okay.
As far as the best numbers we have right now. Daily death rate in Gaza here. This is from Oxfam. Daily death rate in Gaza higher than any other major 21st century conflict, according to Oxfam. Israeli
so maybe
military
unprecedented in the 21st century, you could say.
Right.
But
Israeli military
that's
killing.
not what he said, though.
Killing
Yeah, he said
250
unprecedented.
It says Israeli military killing 250 Palestinians per day, with many more lives at risk from hunger, disease, and cold. Israel's military is killing Palestinians at an average rate of 250 people per day, which massively exceeds the daily death toll of any other major conflict of recent years, Oxfam said today, as the escalation of hostilities nears its 100th day. In addition, to over 1,200 people were killed in horrific attacks by Hamas and other armed groups in Israel on October 7th, and 330 Palestinians have been killed in the West Bank since then. This is published January 11th, 2024. Salih Abi Khalil of Oxfam's Middle East director said the scale and atrocities that Israel has visited upon Gaza are truly shocking. For 100 days, the people of Gaza have endured a living hell. Nowhere is safe, and the entire population is at risk of famine. It is unimaginable the international community is watching the deadliest rate of conflict in the 21st century unfold while continuously blocking calls for a ceasefire. Okay, so according to them, using publicly available data, Oxfam calculated the number of average deaths per day for Gaza is significantly higher than any other recent major conflict, including conflict in Syria, which is 96.5 deaths per day, Sudan 51.6, Iraq 50.8, Ukraine 49.3, Afghanistan 23.8, and Yemen 15.8. So I guess you could say it's an unprecedented amount in the 21st century.
Which is a young.
I just don't know. Like,
century,
are they looking at wars that were over and extrapolating out time? Because I've got like 1971, the Bangladesh Liberation War, 3 million people, and it only took place in 1971.
Well, that'd be the 20th century.
So that was one. Well, sure, but I'm just saying, like, to me, like,
I mean, precedent had. I mean, like, they didn't say unprecedented in the 20. I mean, the initial comment was not unprecedented in the 21st century.
I'm assuming that's what this person is referring to. Or that's the way.
Then they should have typed it, because it changes the fucking calculus.
Sure.
Right. So anyway,
Like,
but the fact that it's unprecedented in the 21st century is still really fucking bad. So
2 years worth of World War I killed almost 4 million people.
Sure. Yeah, it's definitely not unprecedented historically. It might be unprecedented.
2 million people in the
very
Russian
recent
civil war that went on for 3 years.
1971 isn't recent. Well, but we didn't. The initial caveat. There was no.
He didn't
caveat
say.
of,
He didn't say unprecedented in recent memory. He said
was
unprecedented period, and he said it twice too. So you can go back and read the fucking comments.
Yes. So unprecedented means unprecedented.
It matters.
It doesn't mean
absolutely
unprecedented in recent
matters.
history.
The 80s, the 70s, 80s, and 90s were not a fucking age ago. Okay, they weren't the days of yore. This was in my lifetime, so it's retarded for you to say unprecedented period with no qualifier, and then to repeat it. So this person in the chat had multiple fucking chances to say what they are apparently claiming that they meant now.
So let's even go back. If this is the comment, it says unprecedented, Paul. More people have been killed within this short time than anywhere else at any time.
Wrong.
Right, which is wrong.
Which is what I called it. Which is what I called this person out on. And now we're trying to fucking recontextualize history because it hasn't worked out that way. Go fuck yourself.
Okay. If you want to say, if you want to say it's unprecedented in recent history, it is. 21st century.
As far as the daily death
that's
rate.
not. I wouldn't even say 21st. The 21st century is new.
It's not.
As soon as the century rolls over, we start. We it was the golden olden days. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, we're more than we're very close to being a quarter of the way done with the century. So
sure.
Well, I think what Oxfam is saying is like, even if you heard these other conflicts, even Syria, 96.5 deaths, Sudan, and that conflict, 50.
How am I wrong? Read that fucking comment again where he says unprecedented at any other time or place. And I said, no, it isn't. It's not unprecedented. And I was clearly referring to human history a bunch of times before this whole argument started. So I know you motherfuckers like to get an own or whatever, but this ain't it, Chief. You don't just get to raffle mile smiley your way to a win on this one. Motherfucker said that the death going on in Gaza is unprecedented any other time or place. And that's just factually inaccurate. It's factually inaccurate if you just wind it back to the last fucking century.
Does Merch Tier have to save the show yet again?
Might be.
Maybe. We'll see.
Who are we?
Anyway, this is John Fetterman criticizing South Africa for its actions here.
Who are they really fighting? It's a group of cowards. They hide in tunnels. They hide behind civilians.
By the way, remember 6 months ago when all the shit libs were sucking this guy's dick like he was fucking hoodie Jesus or whatever the fuck? Yeah, remember that shit?
Yeah. Oh, dude, we did the episode. We made fun of him, dude. Oh my god, dude, we got so much shit. Like, this guy's got a disability. You guys are pieces of shit. He was a stroke victim. It's like, dude, there's plenty of people. We made plenty of fun of fucking people for fucking having various ailments and various shit going on, dude. It's like, you can't make a fucking joke. Then don't be in the public fucking square. Don't be a public fucking figure.
Side note, TJ is right about DiGiorno. It may have that Ninja Turtle cheese pizza drip, but it feels more like, is this thing cooked all the way? Only got it because it was the stuffed crust left.
It was the only stuff.
It was the only stuffed crust left. Got it.
They attack, kill, and mutilate children, women, and they do that?
Yep, they have done that.
Talking about proportion on that. They shot their best shot on October 7th, and they would have taken more lives if they couldn't do that, but they couldn't.
I mean, you're a U.S. senator, so you probably have access to greater levels of intelligence than the average citizen. And even the New York Times reported that Israel had advance warning of what Hamas was going to do. So, I mean, even if you say it's their best shot, it probably could have largely been prevented, or at least they could have been prepared for such an attack or such an eventuality.
And now let's also talk about that. Now we're talking about genocide. And now South Africa is bringing that kind of a trial.
Yeah, how dare they? How dare they point out that a massive level of killing and genocide is taking place?
Dude, if he takes this to what about apartheid? I'm going to lose my shit. I'm literally going to lose my shit.
Oh, no. I hope he doesn't. I really hope he doesn't.
Point out when they're talking about criticizing.
He did.
Mother fucking idiot.
Let's hear it again.
This one out when they're talking about criticizing.
Better sit this one out. Obviously referencing.
Why? Because they ended apartheid in the last century?
It's not the 1980s South African government doing it, dude. You know what I mean? It's a much different. Now, look, South Africa in its current iteration has a lot of political corruption and problems. What country doesn't?
I don't want no apology from nobody about nothing. I just wish that you'd learn from it and that everybody would learn from it. Like getting all jazzed up about these fucking DNC affiliated candidates. It leads to nothing but disappointment and the further degradation of our lives. So let's not do it anymore. That's been my argument. That's what I would rather get than I don't need your fucking apologies.
Well, the apology they can give you. Fundamental political change, I don't think they can. I think that's why. I'm surprised that was. I mean, that must be some. That must be a branded audience to hear that and go, yeah. I mean, the facts just don't bear that out.
Like, think about what he's saying. He's saying like, oh yeah, these guys are animals and they killed women, and children, and babies, and blah 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 blah. So we're gonna kill a bunch of their babies. It's like, huh? When is that the response of the good guys?
That'll learn those no good some bitches. That'll stop them. This guy looks like such a schlub. Who cares? I really don't mind.
I don't care. Look, I don't care. I don't care if John Fetterman wears a fucking hoodie to the Senate. I don't really give a fuck about that aspect of him as a person. Like, that doesn't really bother me, and I don't think it really should bother anybody. I place way more stock in what he's saying and what he represents. And if he's representing that genocide is okay, and because some other state 40 years ago did some bad shit, it's like, yeah, South Africa had a horrible policy all those years ago.
Was trench warfare indiscriminate bombing against unarmed civilians? Where do you think those trenches were dug, kiddo? Where do you think trench warfare took place? Took place in areas where people lived.
Yeah, there was massive civilian casualties in World War One.
Like, it's just like, dude, the fact that you never got like a fucking round education in recent fucking world history is not my problem, bro.
I guess it kind of is.
I mean, it is right now, yeah.
You know,
because I'm having to deal with your fucking ignorance over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Just like, what do you think? What do you think?
We're splitting hairs here.
What do you think trench warfare was? Do you think they teleported to the fucking shadow realm where there was no people living to have it out?
None of these people would want to live right by where these conflicts was taking place, and no one want to live in Gaza.
You wouldn't want to live within 100 miles of the trenches. You think that's where the only violence was going on in these? Like, you're so fucking stupid.
That's where the lines met. You're talking about where the lines met. I mean, obviously, but if you advance forward, I mean, there's going to be, what do you think they're doing to the people under occupation? Giving them soft hugs and kisses and saying, you guys got enough to eat? You guys good?
Oh, shit. I think I'm having a stroke. Oh, God damn it. I accidentally banned that fucking guy.
Oh, shit.
Damn, dude. I was having a stroke. I'm sorry.
Well, if you have a stroke, you had a stroke.
I've been, dude, I don't think I've actually banned somebody in over a couple of months now.
Oh, shit.
But it's coming back. Danny Smith, you're next on my fucking list. You say one more stupid thing tonight, you're fucking done. And let that be a warning to everybody else. I'm sick of you wasting my fucking time. I'm sick of you seeing your fucking time wasting bullshit in my chat. And go find something else to do with your time.
So this is Secretary of State Antony Blinken. So let's hear from him.
Okay.
We believe the submission against Israel to the International Court of Justice distracts the world from all of these important efforts. And moreover, the charge of genocide is meritless. It's particularly wrong.
Give me a fucking break, bro.
Then what is genocide? What if this is true? If Anthony Blinken is correct, then what is genocide?
Genocide is when it's politically advantageous for us to say it's a genocide, then it's a genocide. And when it's not, then it's not. That's genocide.
I mean, 70% of the people being killed are women and children. That's not genocide?
And all of the people, almost all of the people that are being killed are culturally homogenous to that area. Like, that's genocide. That's the point. You're getting rid of an indigenous population to an area and replacing it with something else. That's genocide.
Yeah, I don't
Take
thi-
my
that's not-
money, boys.
Yeah,
Sure thing.
meritless. I mean, I think that fucking almost 30,000 people that are dead, and probably I don't know how many people have actually just been injured. I mean, had their lives uprooted. I mean, millions of people at this point. I mean, this isn't genocide. Then I don't know what genocide. I mean, what would genocide even be?
Those who are attacking Israel, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, as well as their supporter Iran, continue to openly call for the annihilation of Israel and the mass murder of Jews. On this trip, I came to Israel.
I mean, they might be calling for it, but you know who's actually like doing mass murder right now? Israel.
I mean, plenty of people call for plenty of things. Yeah, exactly. Like, how close is it? I mean, like, how close is the state of Israel to destruction?
Not.
It doesn't seem very close to me, but I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
Turkey, Greece, Jordan, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia.
This isn't genocide. Stop being overdramatic. It's war. No, war is when you have two armies fighting each other. War is not a civilian population being.
Why can't it be both?
Bombed.
Like, why can't it be both? Why are these mutually exclusive terms? You realize that most genocides that you can track were perpetrated during war.
Because there's not even another side in this. I mean, there's like some fucking underground bullshit little ragtag bunch of fucking morons with guns that are supposedly the enemy here. But like, Israel has killed almost none of them because there's almost none to kill to begin with.
Okay,
They've almost entirely killed civilians.
Here's from the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. There's a page called "What is Genocide?" Genocide is an internationally recognized crime where acts are committed with the intent to destroy, in whole or part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. These acts fall into 5 categories. 1, killing members of the group. 2, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group. 3, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or part. 4, imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group. 5, forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. There are a number of other serious violent crimes that do not fall into the specific definition of genocide. These include crimes against humanity, war crimes, ethnic cleansing, and mass killing.
Yeah, I don't call this a war. I mean, even if it was a war, that wouldn't preclude it from also being a genocide, but it's not a fucking war, in my opinion.
All of those leaders.
You remember back in the fucking 20th century when a war had 2 armies in it?
Yeah, not no more. Now it's a giant army versus some guys somewhere that might have some guns. And they're hiding in tunnels somewhere. And since we can't
I don't know.
Well, we can't find the guys in tunnels, so let's fucking assassinate that woman and her child running across the street. It's like bullshit. No.
Conflict. All of them are committed to using their influence, using the ties that they have to prevent it from escalating, to deter.
Why does this guy look like a fucking deer in the headlights when he's saying this? He looks genuinely afraid.
Because he knows it's all bullshit.
Oh, he's just spitting bullshit. Yeah, he knows 100%. He's been
just like, why is it so? Why have they put somebody in this position who's so easy to read that you can see the fucking lies and terror on their face when they're
because they count on people like to not. I mean, like he's
like
no
there was
one's gonna watch
nobody.
this
They
speech.
couldn't find anybody that had a poker face to sit up here and say these things anymore. Like this dude literally looks like he's about to start weeping and screaming. He looks terrified.
From opening.
And then he turned green.
All expressed grave concern about the dire humanitarian situation and the number of civilians killed in Gaza. We know that facing an enemy that embeds itself among civilians, who hides in and fires from schools, from hospitals, makes this incredibly challenging.
I mean, this fucking excuse is just gonna it's gonna last forever, isn't it? Like I'm sure you guys remember this. A lot of the younger people probably won't. You guys remember how this used to justify American bombings of mosques and community centers and shit in Iraq and Afghanistan. Whenever
Yeah.
something like that would happen and somebody in the media would point out like, hey, why did we blow up this fucking whole high school or whatever? They'd be like, well, unfortunately, the terrorists like to hide in amongst the civilian population. So whoops a daisy, guess that's what we got to do.
Sure. I mean, look, did we kill 500 high school students? Yes. But did we also get one Hamas?
But did you look in the basement of that hospital? You found a hummus, and when you found a hummus, you got them.
Look, if we got to kill 5,000 civilians to get one
bas-
hummus, that's how you got to do it.
That's the truth of it. They basically say the truth of it is, look, it's unfortunate, but if you got one terrorist and you got 100 innocent people, then if those 100 innocent people have to be hurt or killed to get that one bad guy, it's worth it.
That's just how it is.
Otherwise they'll come back. TJ, Hamas will come back. So if we don't do this, like it's basically arguing like, look, there has to be a massive loss of life short term for long term everything to be okay. That's basically what they're just saying. Yeah,
there might have been hundreds of fucking school children there, but you know who else was also there? Mohammed bin Salafi Tikriti, dude. 14th in command of Al Qaeda. So you win some, you lose some.
I mean, yeah, this even happened too. Israel shot its own hostage on accident too. Yeah, I remember reading that story. They killed 3 Israelis.
I mean, what can you expect from an area where there's really no rules of engagement going on? There's no attempt to preserve civilian life. Of course, they're going to shoot at whatever moves out there.
Coming nipples. Your ray of sunshine. Thank you.
But the
Feels like good old coming nipples.
Gaza, particularly on children, is far too
Nice
high.
George Bush chuckle. I mean, I heard a lot of them.
The amount of aid getting into Gaza, including by opening Kerem Shalom. Nonetheless, 90% of Gaza's population continues to face acute food insecurity, according to the United Nations.
Well, it's a price that must be paid. I mean,
Gotta break a few eggs, omelet, whatever, you know what they say.
Look, gotta smoke them out. Smoke them out, Paul.
Terror-loving terrorists.
Smoke them out. So here is, and here's the same guy getting fucking asked some questions by Andrea Mitchell, getting pushed on some of this stuff to whatever extent our media actually does push these people.
Secretary, thank you so much for being with us today.
Good to be with you, Andrea.
This is the 4th time you have been in Israel since October 7th. And you have said from the beginning that that massacre had to be responded to, that Israel had to invade. But now it's been 100 days. It's 23,000 Palestinian civilian lives, according to reports. The hostages.
Yep, but they haven't killed every single Hamas terrorist. So therefore, the conflict must continue till they got each and every one. Otherwise, they're just going to gather straight and come back. Wow.
Included, have been there for all this time. Things have changed. Doesn't Israel now have to wind this down? Isn't that what you want?
Well, we all want to see this conflict end as quickly as possible. We all want to see the suffering.
Do we? It doesn't sound like you guys are too interested in that.
Yeah, because if you wanted that, I'm pretty sure your boss could just pick up the phone.
We're caught in the middle, and as quickly as possible.
We're not caught in the middle.
Wait, so now we're just weak. The United States suddenly is like on this one country is just a scared little bitch that's like, we can't, Israel, please.
Hamas to the left of me, Israel to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
I mean, that's
what an interesting way
what
to
they're
portray being caught in the middle, being the field of play on which this fucking whole farce is taking place, and the sun that shines down upon it is being in the middle of it now, I guess, huh? Okie dokie.
Look, our client state needs to just go ahead and fucking exterminate these people real quick. And look, we agree. The sooner they're done and they've done it and we can just lie about it, the better. But
yeah, look, we want this
for now. We just got to get through this uncomfortable period where we're just acting like we're trying to stop it.
Look, this genocide's real bad. But you know what we said to Israel? Guys, can you kind of speed up things? Can you move that genocide along a little bit faster so, people can be dead a little bit quicker? You guys can take over the land a little bit faster, and then everything will be back to normal.
The sooner they're all dead, the sooner we can lie about them all being dead, okay?
And then pretend
Come
like
on.
we're sad about it. Oh no, they're dead. Well, it's gotta be something's gotta be done with this land.
It's vital that Israel be
why.
able to do everything possible to ensure that October 7th never happens again.
It's just their 9/11, huh? Everything's justified because something happened.
And it's made good progress toward that.
Yeah, their 9/11. Remember what we did after 9/11? Illegally invade 2 countries, kill millions of people. So is that what it means when we say it's their 9/11?
That's what I meant when I was saying it. Yeah.
I mean, clearly that's, like someone said earlier in our chat, this is just taking a page out of the U.S. playbook. It's like, oh, you know what? This gives us fucking carte blanche to go in and just kill and take the land. In the case of Israel, that's what they're. I mean, you think after they bomb out all these West Bank and the fucking Palestinian territory, that they're suddenly just going to give it all back? Oh, guys, at the end, no, they're going to come clean it all up and they're going to move a bunch of Jewish people in. Come on, it's obvious. And they'll say it's to protect them. Oh, guys, we got to be protected because last time with these Palestinians living here, they were attacking Israel. The best way to ensure that is that people who are friendly to Israel in these bombed out homes, which we're now going to rebuild.
They've made significant progress, but yet an important minister, Gallant, said they are about to attack Khan Yunis in the south very strongly. And there are people there who haven't even been moved back to the north.
So we've seen now a phase down of the operations in the north. That's important. We've seen the withdrawal of significant.
Our enemies are simultaneously strong and weak. We are simultaneously decisive and have our hands tied. What a joke written in blood with our taxes. Yep.
Oh, very true.
We're doing all we can to stem the defense industry boon ASAP. You guys, money, money, money.
Number of forces that were in Gaza, particularly again in the north, where they've achieved a lot. And as I said, we want to see this conflict
Achieved a lot of fucking bloodshed and murder.
Well, that's been effective.
These fucking this shit is just so ghoulish, man. I can't even listen to this shit anymore. You want me to go vote for this type of shit? No, won't do it. Sorry.
This is your hero. All right. With that, we are done with that segment. Have we made the Bohemian Grove segment?
Let's go, Alex Jones. We made it, TJ.
We've made it.
We have made it.
Dude, I pulled this one because I got off on a tear last night. I was sitting and talking with Amelia and Bohemian Grove came up and I was like, man, I don't think people just appreciate like how fucking weird this shit really was. Like people kind of like shrug and go like, oh, Alex Jones. But if you actually look into like what's known about the Bohemian Grove and shit, and then watch the fucking tape that Alex Jones and his team got when they managed to sneak into this fucking thing.
Oh, like the burning of Care and stuff.
And the cremation of Care, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why would like, it seems like, okay, maybe it's just some innocuous like summer camp thing, but why would all these powerful people subject themselves to like the scrutiny that would obviously come, with, I don't know, doing like a pagan ritual out in the woods? Like, why wouldn't they rent some place where they could control absolutely who's in and out of it? And why was there not enough fucking security around this area that had like presidents and politicians and actors and business magnates and shit? Like, so fucking fat ass Alex Jones was able to belly crawl into this thing. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And it makes you wonder, like, is there some level of like cult going on that has like control over this group of powerful people?
So I'm going to read some stuff about the Bohemian Club while this video is playing in the background here.
Okay.
The uber secret Bohemian Club is located in Sonoma County, California. It's been around since 1872. However, throughout its entire 150-year tenure, no one has really known what goes on at the Bohemian Club each June and July, Rumors about robed figures and ritualistic ceremonies run rampant. Well, I mean, we see them right here. This is
That's no longer rumors. We've got a video of the fucking shit, and it's literally a dude dressed up like the Pope talking about.
Unless
like,
Alex Jones hired a bunch of dudes to just stand in the woods and do this and pretended, fake this.
No,
footage.
like I think they did. Didn't they sue him or file? I mean, they
did.
Yeah, like they responded to
They
this.
basically had to admit that this happened over there. Like, this is real. This is not, say what you want about Alex Jones, but there's a dude dressed up like the Pope, but there's no Christianity in the message at all. It's all like pagan nature worship kind of stuff. And then visually, what happens is these robed figures behind him all take their torches, which you can see each one is carrying a torch in addition to wearing weird fucking robes. And they burn in effigy a human being that is supposed to represent care. Care, like the old way of using it, like calling somebody careworn or whatever, like, oh, I have so many cares, I can't, too many cares to enjoy my life, blah, blah, blah. And so I honestly have no problem with people being pagan or whatever, but it starts to get weird when it's every powerful person on the fucking planet.
Yeah, every rich fuck, I mean, at least just a preponderance of them show up to one spot.
And like
and gather and
exposing
have a secret
themselves
meeting.
to the critique of this type of thing. But like, you would think that, like, especially in the modern media age, they'd be like, all right, it's time to stop doing this weird fucking pagan ritual or whatever. We get what it, but like, it just doesn't look good. We don't want anybody but no, they to this day, they still do this shit.
There are 25.
It's hard to see it from this picture too, but like, one of the reasons I know that Alex Jones didn't fucking stage this or whatever is it's not lit right now, but behind these dudes is a fucking ginormous stone statue of an owl. And
Yeah,
they refer to it as Molech, the owl god, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, we watched the thing where they like go in there. Like, there's a whole the
There's
video is
been
pretty
pictures-
long.
There's been pictures of this place in the day. Like, people have snuck in since, like, when it's not going on, and gotten pictures, so that we've seen this set. The set is real. The altar is real. The big giant stone owl behind them is real.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So this club, it has 2,500 members. The initial fee to join is $25,000.
Not too bad.
It's some of the most powerful men in the world. It's not women.
Yeah, it's a male exclusive club.
So it's it's just dudes allowed in this thing. You got Ronald Reagan, you got Richard Nixon, Herbert Hoover, George H.W. Bush, and Dwight D. Eisenhower were all active members of this club. So that's
So George H.W. has attended. Jeb has attended. I mean, it's hard to find somebody that hasn't really attended. Henry Kissinger was a member, still was a member all the way up until his death. He's on the rolls of the last leak. So the last time the guest list of this leaked was in 2018.
Gotcha.
And I went through it with Amelia last night. We just kind of scrolled through. A bunch of them are, there's a lot of artists, like people whose names aren't super recognizable, like a lot of visual artists and sculptors and painters and poets and playwrights. And then just a lot of corporate names. So a lot of like corporate dynastic families and
Dude,
a fuck ton of political names.
I've told people this, but I was like maybe 12 or 13. I was friends with a kid. And it's
apparently Moloch has ties with child sacrifice. So does Yahweh, though.
Yeah, he does. I mean, pretty much all gods do for the most part. But I was friends with him, but it's like, oh, my grandpa's like this big shot lawyer. And I'm like, okay. And like, he's like, he's like rich, like my grandparents like are really rich, which they didn't really live that rich, but like, but you tell, like, I guess his family was from money. But they talked about his dad going to San Francisco, like this weird thing. He's like, well, I can't tell you anything about it. It's like this weird gathering that they go to.
Here's this owl statue.
So like, but I didn't put together years later. Like, I guess his grandpa was actually part of this shit because they were going. Because like him and his dad were going to San Francisco, and it's like, yeah, I can't really say, like, they don't really tell me what what's going on there or anything about it. But yeah, they go down there every year, and I guess it was to this kind of weird fucking build. And like, so if you have enough money, you can join this shit. Obviously, I think you have to know the right people as well, but
so I guess Nixon had a little bit of a feud with the club. because both Reagan and Nixon were active club members. In 1967, Nixon allegedly delivered a lakeside speech at the Grove where he outlined his ideas on foreign policy. According to Professor G. William Domhoff, during this 1967 retreat, Nixon got verbal confirmation from fellow guest Ronald Reagan, who assured Nixon he would not be running for president in the upcoming election. This verbal promise was later confirmed by Ronald Reagan himself in Philip Weiss's spy magazine expose on the Bohemian Club. Weiss had made some small talk with Reagan at the Grove, and Reagan had confirmed these rumors. Despite being president of the United States in 1971, Richard Nixon was adamant about giving a lakeside talk at the club's July retreat. The press soon learned that Nixon was planning to make a speech. According to Domhoff, the public was not about to let the sitting president of the United States make an off-the-record speech to some of the most powerful men in the country. The Bohemian Club was extremely embarrassed and eventually asked Nixon to cancel his appearance at the Grove. Although there seemed to be no bad blood between the president and the club, the Watergate tapes revealed that Nixon may have had mixed feelings. He can be heard calling the Bohemian Club derogatory names on the tapes. So basically, like,
he
Nixon
said it was the faggiest thing that ever. That's what he said about the Bohemian Club. He was like, it's like the faggiest thing ever.
But that's sour grapes, because the reality is he wanted to give a speech and they got a little bit of fucking bad press and they're like, no, don't come. It's just too much heat. And he's like,
maybe that was the problem. He didn't come.
Yeah, well, they're mad. They're I mean, he was mad that he fucking got disinvited.
I couldn't bust a nut, TJ.
So what happens at the camp? Because the Bohemian Club has been around for so long, has remained so secretive, it's easy to imagine these retreats are full of controlled cultish ceremonies. In reality, it seems the Bohemian Club is a chance for some powerful individuals to let off steam with their friends, and nothing.
And also do a cultish ceremony or two.
Right. And also, let's be real, make a bunch of fucking business and fucking other connections with powerful people.
Well, that's obviously like what people will say. It's just like a social club for people that, you know, like we're super rich people and whatever. And it's to make political alliances and business, to find areas of business overlap where both people can benefit and blah, blah, blah. Right. Like,
sure.
But why are they doing a fucking weird pagan ritual in the middle of the woods? I don't get it. I don't get why they would even expose themselves to the critique that they were doing this, especially since so many of these people are like politicians and corporations who do their level-headed best to present themselves as, if anything, Christian.
Right.
And this is not, this is not something that like Christian people would take their kids to. It's not like objectionable, like there's no cussing in it. But if you watch it, it's clearly just like pagan nature worship, which is kind of based, honestly, but I call it into question when it's happening at one of these fucking retreats for the uber powerful and rich.
Sure.
Look, it's just there's people having some fun. That's all it is.
I basically just think that it's like some bullshit that's, it's meant to fucking be theatrically fucking interesting. Because, if you really look at how most of these people, like, that we know of that were part of this club, like, actually governed and lived, they didn't fucking govern the country like fucking pagans when they had power,
No, I'm not claiming that they actually maybe even believe the pagan shit, but that the pagan shit is part of a superstructure of like cultishness between them.
It's the same thing as like you being in that fucking Indian guides shit where everyone's fucking pretending to be Indians. It's like there has to be some sort of like deeper fucking almost spiritual angle to it, but it's like a pseudo spiritual angle that's just meant as a fucking patina to like bring people together and give them some sort of fucking
obviously that's possible
feelings of higher fucking connection and shit.
But I think where Paul's suspicions come in, it's just the fact that you have a bunch of super powerful, wealthy, well-connected people meeting in this kind of like almost openly secret sort of club. And that's going to do nothing but engender the feelings of like there's a massive conspiracy.
I'm really not.
It clearly has for decades.
Well, I'm not really scared of them getting together in robes and burning shit and being like, let the God. I'm more scared of when they're not doing this and when they're actually just fucking making their plans to carve
Well,
up
I
the
think
fucking
I
country
think that my
and the
contention
world.
would be is this is probably one of the events where if such a world domination plan does exist, which I think it does.
I agree
This
that
is
it
this
does.
is this is a place, one of the places where that shit gets worked out.
Sure. I mean, it might be, but this kind of shit right here is just like, to me, like a side spectacle that's just
Look,
meant.
who ends up getting Florida? Oh God.
This is
All
just
right,
kind of meant to
Bezos
bring them
got
together.
Florida.
This is just like some sort of social adhesive to bind all these fucks together in some sort of unity.
Oh, they do these billionaire symposiums all the time, dude. This is like par for the course if you're rich enough. Is you go to
I
these
mean, like,
fucking jerk
these
off
motherfuckers already fucking do. I mean, they primarily hang out with each other. They don't fucking hang out with a bunch of fucking poor fucks. These
Fuck
guys don't
no.
go to fucking Ruby Tuesdays and eat cheeseburgers.
Dude, their idea of
fucking
hanging out with a poor
boy.
fuck is like Elon Musk hanging out with Joe Rogan. Like, I'm hanging out with quaint little Joe Rogan, or worth only 200 million.
Ruby Tuesdays, dude. Way to pick the worst one. That's perfect.
I know. I mean, like, that's what I'm saying though. They don't go to that shit. They ain't fucking chilling.
Well,
at
my
fucking-
question was, why don't they do something like rent out an entire one of those fucking, like, you know, in the Bahamas
Resorts.
or whatever, where they just rent the whole resort out where they have full control over everybody that's in it. Like, why would they do it in a
I mean,
place
they don't
like
even
this?
have to. Dude, there's billionaires that even like how many of them actually own islands legitimately? They could go to
True.
places away from any prying eyes. You're right. I mean, I guess it's probably tradition is part of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is just where they've done it in the past. This is the fucking spot.
This is just where all the bankers and politicians and media elites have always gone to worship a fucking dead Babylonian god.
I mean, I mean, it's a nice spot. I mean, look, San Francisco's got its problems for sure, but I mean, look,
I'm
beautiful
gonna
view, nice city.
I'm going to assume that probably this is just like something to do with where the club started. I don't know who. I don't know if this club an elitist club from the word go, because when I'm looking at its history, I'm reading the history of it. It doesn't really seem. So it says that when it was first founded, it was founded by a group of men interested in arts and culture. When the club was
Okay.
first founded, the term bohemian was meant to indicate cultured intellectuals.
Yeah, that was like a move. That was like a bohemian movement. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, like, this seemed like this is a club that was started by a bunch of like
artsy
fartsy motherfucking people.
Yeah, but who supports the arts?
Yeah, and then and that's probably why there's a bunch of artists that are still on the fucking member rolls to this day.
And then you have rich fucks that are gonna like force fund that art and feel like, oh yes, I'm interested in the arts. you know,
So
like
this is just like one of their things that they fucking do to feel like they're cultured or fucking like above everybody else. And like they have some kind of like special thing that only they can be members of, and it costs fucking thousands of dollars, like it costs basically what a fucking average person makes in a year to even fucking go to this shit.
Dude, I know this isn't directly tiable to this, but I had this fucking dude that used to come into the Starbucks that I worked at a long time ago. Old guy, 33rd degree Mason. Like, I used to sit and talk with him on my lunch breaks and shit. He hung out a lot. And he thought I was pretty funny, and he liked, I think, answering the questions and shit. And so when he started talking to me about being a Freemason and told me he was like a 33rd degree dude, my Alex Jones tingled. I was like, oh shit. This dude's, because that's the top.
Yes.
That's like the highest you go in Masonry. And I was like, oh fuck. And I was like, okay, let me ask you a question. Because I had to be careful, because he wouldn't tell me any shit that he couldn't tell me. Like, he was like, yeah, I'll answer questions if I can, but I'm not going to tell you the things that, I can't tell you. It's like, all right. I was like, let me just ask you this. I said, put yourself in my shoes. Let's say you're me, not a Mason, don't have a family that comes from Masonry, probably never will be a Mason. And let's say that I just learned everything that you know as a 33rd degree Mason. Just like somebody just put a book in front of me and was like, here's reality. Like, here's all the things you don't know. Like, how would you feel? And he didn't even pause. He was just like terrified. I was like, oh, okay. All right. That's not very comforting. He's like, no, I mean, I'd be terrified to find out how orchestrated most things are and blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay, all right. Well, that pretty much confirms my suspicions.
Yeah, Taylor's grandfather was one of those. Like she said, they did like at his funeral that they like just showed up. And he was like, "Who the hell are those?" Like, oh, he was a Freemason, but she never even knew. He didn't. He had in his life made millions of dollars, but he was living pretty at the end of his life pretty bad from what she describes to me. But he was a Freemason, so they definitely show up if you die. They definitely there's some connection.
Goddamn stupid fucking Freemasons and their fucking lies.
It'll help get you out of some serious shit, DJ. Gotta become a Freemason.
Gotta be a Freemason. And there's Freemasons and there's fucking tears, Scotty. All right. So have we made
I would be very skeptical of that person's claims during the conversation. Yeah, and you're the dude that would be very skeptical when somebody told them that Freddy was fucking coming into their dreams.
Yeah.
And you'd end up getting fucking carved to ribbons in your dreams and going, oh, what the fuck, he's real. Like, I'm not going to be one of those, dude.
So our next goal was $750. Let's see, we're $40 away. All right, I'm going to go check. So let's see. Okay, so we're $40 short there. Let's check Streamlabs. Okay. Up. Nope. $40 away.
All right. Well, you guys know the rules. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back on Tuesday. And I will see you guys on Sunday. And for those of you who are patrons, we'll see you guys in a minute over on Sloppy Seconds. We're going to be taking a look at Spittin' Jimmy Dore and Alex Jones finally kissing and making up. Peace.